Kick it off.
Previously... Turn it off. Start it again.
No, it's going through.
Well, previously on the Outcast, because I was going to do a really nice intro and prologue, and
You know you're not allowed
we're
to
doing
have that.
great.
You know you're not allowed.
Well, these chuckle fucks done screwed that up, so we're going to try this again. Hello, I'm Robert, and we are doing a prologue, because previously on the Outcasts, they were given 2 decisions. Well, they had a lot of decisions, but it boiled down to 2. Option A, take responsibility for the world that they had and they lived in, and they had personal friends, families, and connections to, and give them the forewarnings and help them see this conundrum through. Protect their family against the onslaught that is coming from the astral sea and the void itself, Emrakul. However, they chose to take option B, and they went to an entirely different planet, the Shards of Alara, to work with a apparently less than reputable, but also incredibly conveniently resourceful individual named Tezzeret. In doing so, they worked with that individual to come up with a plan to find the first in a chain of planeswalkers known as Leska. Well, maybe there's a J in there. Right now, I'm not in the shape because it's Halloween Eve and we were just at a Halloween party. It may be a J, Jeska. It switches. Don't worry about it. That said, we then took the opportunity to take a step back and we worked with a new group made up of a couple beloved NPCs for the Bandage Brigade. We met Carl, the life cleric who is, well, I can't put it bluntly. He's an asshole. He's not a good guy, but he's incredibly good at healing. We then met Para, the paladin archer. And last but not least, we met Warrior Squid, the chosen flump, who is going to be hopefully helping to save our world. The part that was covered behind the scenes, because we then saw those heroes return to the city of Ravnica, meet with the Sisters of Shadow, and those individuals made a pact or a deal with the commander Tatsuya, the last free space open to the Guild Pact. This commander has been renowned for a number of things, including how terrifying of an individual he is, as well as he took down single-handedly as a conquest paladin an ancient black dragon. He has now sent recruits as part of this new pact and this new Bandage Brigade guild, a 11th guild to the Guild Pact, on their own quest into some form of a forgotten library or keep. Choose your verb, as we have not fully discovered this. And you guys will be introduced to these individuals shortly, but for them, they last left off as they descended down a stairs, though blindingly obvious for one individual choosing to not believe or trust in the obvious, an endless stairs giving himself over to the illusions at hand. The other two took on, in a dual manner, in the first true fight of their gathered adventuring careers, a most terrifying of jelly cubes. Some damage dealt, some are worse for wear, but by and large they managed to succeed on escaping this jelly cube and stand in front of a small dais. 3 chairs, one of them being a throne. The 2 chairs hold some skeletal remains, one of which has crumbled through the bottom. The last one, hey, we still have a dog for those who did not know. There's a dog in the immediate vicinity. But for those, the last throne-like chair had no body, but instead had a sword poking through the back. And that's where we're leaving off today. We're going to go around the horn and call out who we're playing and just give a little bit about why you've made a decision to join up with the Dread Commander Tatsuya. We'll start over here with Chris, one of our veteran players.
Oh, okay.
What?
What? Well, I am...
Yeah, he's not playing Grunk this time. So despite how good you thought he might be healing, he's actually playing a healer character this time. Good luck to him.
We'll see about that. So I am playing a character by the name of Zephyr, just to get some easy background. Monk, Way of Mercy. I don't need to explain anything about myself to you. He is...
Who the hell do you think I am? I'm not telling you myself.
Go fuck yourself. If you don't know me, you don't deserve to know me. But he is garbed entirely in just a classical Plague Doctor costume, head to toe, just very basic. He has a number of potions that he always keeps.
For those who are unfamiliar with history, the most merciful of doctors were the Plague Doctors. Keep going. You're doing great.
A bunch of potions on his waist at all times of multiple different colors, and switching them out. Doesn't know what they do or if they do anything. And he also wears, instead of it being just a normal... I like how I'm gesturing in real life, even though they can't see me.
Yes, for an audio medium, visual cues are...
Oh, I just can't
right there.
wait. It's great. It's a bearded vulture Plague Doctor mask. That's what it's designed after. And the last thing that he has with him at all times is actually a cane, which at the head of which, or the ball, or whatever the hell it's called, is just a blue, like, crystal orb with a dragon claw kind of clutching it. Not a real dragon claw, but these...
Painted on.
And it's like a little, almost like a styrofoam. It's like a stone one, but the middle claw is broken. And that's Zephyr. That's all that people are getting. Oh, I guess the last thing is you don't see eyes within the mask if anyone ever looks inside the mask. That's about that, though.
I would hate not having eyes.
Yeah, it sucks.
Welcome, Zephyr.
Thanks.
Going around the horn, we're going to go back to another veteran, Steve, for once not playing a human fighter.
I mean, I could.
He could have chosen that. But that's not a healer either.
I'm proud of you, though.
Okay, yeah, not really. But yeah, I am playing Kaz, a tiefling, however you want to pronounce it.
And Prolinguist, of course.
And I am playing the homebrew class Cosmic Blade.
So for those of you at home, we had previously homebrewed a class called the Umbral Savant, one of the Shadow Masters. In this case, upon a rather abundant request from various players at the table, we have worked on a class called the Cosmic Blade. It is somebody who is forging their abilities from the stars and cosmos itself. So you will hear more about the abilities as we expand and delve into that of the Cosmic Blade. But if you want to give me just a sneak peek, what is your core class ability that you are using? Just to give them a little taste. Wet their whistle, if you would. Notes as he's looking up because he does not remember the class that he helped choose, request, and design.
Just tell him that you swing your sword. That's your main class ability.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I swing the sword, I get the things.
Yeah.
When things explode, sword burst.
Alright, Sword Burst. Apparently Sword Burst is going to be coming into play, a cantrip.
If I remember it.
If he remembers correctly. We shall see. Based on the previous play, we shall see. Alright, from there, we have a newcomer to the table. We're going to be rounding out our table with a new player, Sir Alex. Welcome to the table. What brings you?
Hi. Yeah, you invited me. You needed another person, and I was happy to start a new game.
That'll happen.
Yes.
Sometimes, you just need that extra player. You just need him.
2 isn't enough sometimes.
Wasn't there a whole song about, like, two's
One is the loneliest number.
That one. Pick that one. But
Yeah.
does that have 3 in it? I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect. Got it right
2
in
can be
one.
as bad as 1. 3, something else.
I don't know. I was going more on the knock 3 times if you'll meet me in the hallway. And I'm like, I don't think that applies. Close, but probably not right. And what are you playing, sir?
So I'm playing a Celestial Warlock named Nikoni. She is from the Frozen Tundra. You can usually see her wearing a blue coat with fur trim on the inside, even in the summer. So normally people would swelter in that and probably pass out from heat stroke, but she uses her magic, her ice magic, to keep herself cool. So she, for her patron, wanders around trying to explore, find artifacts to deal with, and that's kind of why she joined this adventure. It's a kind of like getting your.
The audience gets to know what we don't. I see how it is.
What was that?
That's it. The audience gets to know what we don't. I see how it is.
Right? Sometimes you just need things above table. you just need, you don't need to know what I'm doing under here.
I don't want to look under there. I don't want to look under the table.
Perfect. Yes. I will deal with that on this side of the table. Yes. No. It's just like a Zoom meeting. You don't have to be wearing pants as long as you're professional up top. See, he knows what I'm talking about. You don't have to deal with that.
What does Kaz look like? I don't think you talked about Kaz.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, let's fix that. Our audience needs appearance.
We just know that he's not human. Done.
Yeah.
So imagine just not a human, and you guys have it. Whatever you imagine, you got it right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
At least give us just a whiff of.
Kaz is a pale white tea.
Perfect. All right, we got it. Got it in one. Pale white tea.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Our audience is just gonna be like, what few people do watch. It's just gonna be like, what does this guy look like? I don't get it. I'll never understand.
We know he. I mean, come on. What tiefling doesn't want to be a white guy?
Woof. Honestly, considering their background, I get it. It's really unfortunate. The horns are still there, though, and sometimes the tail.
Okay, I do have to ask, though. A, do you have a tail?
No.
That's good to know, because most tieflings have a tail, so that's different and unique.
Really cat it.
I know.
Fight me, motherfucker. Why are we coming at each other so much tonight? For anybody who's listening, just know that Robert and I are smiling the entire damn time we're at each other.
My other question, though, that is relevant to the look and general feel of a tiefling. Give me some flavor towards a horn style. Are you looking straight up, out? Yeah, be the guy that has horns straight out, like a pike out of his head. What are we looking at?
There's a collar.
There are cows like that. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Staghorn.
No, mine go kind of just
can make a
out
roots,
and
too.
up a little bit. That's about it. Just kind of just basic ones.
Just a little kind of swirly curve.
Yeah, they just go up, out and up. Yeah.
Out and up.
Like
Yeah.
this.
They're not
this?
super long. Not that long.
Oh, we can't even. I can't even describe that one. The way your hand was. Hold on.
You're basically a binacorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Perfect. Binacorn the tiefling. Sweet. I love it.
Kaz the bisexual binacorn.
Oh.
No.
You also don't know what gender I am.
Yeah,
Well-
good point.
If we're going to get into that whole spiel, I just have to take a side tangent real quick.
Come on.
We're going to go back to my college days. Yes, I know it doesn't sound like it. I did complete college. I was in choir. I was in a lot of choirs. And they always would ask, all right, what part do you sing? So I heard this once a long time ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm bisexual. And they looked at me,
Oh,
they
boy.
had to process a solid minute. Like, what did you just tell me? I'm like, I'm bisexual. I can sing multiple parts. Okay, what are you singing? At that point, then the rest of it went to history. But it was a funny moment that I got to play on a guy that was in his late 70s. It was fantastic.
Holy shit.
So, for anybody who can sing multiple parts, use that on somebody. It's fantastic. I digress. We're now going to step into kind of the world at hand, but I first want to paint a quick picture. Stepping back, you guys hear
Got
this loud, cheering, almost jarring roar. If you picture the Seattle Seahawks stadium with just the cacophony of sound to the point that it's setting off its own Richter scale level just shakes, seismic activity. You see this large
The dog's in the
elephantine style warrior stepping out in front of a very small, haggard individual on this dust-filled plain around an entire auditorium almost stone-based coliseum, but it's not quite large enough to meet that qualification. Everywhere around you hear the cheering, the dust is kicking up. It's almost louder with the stomps and the shouts, and you can't tell if it's people cheering, people booing. You can't tell if it's the just the music being played right now. As it builds higher and higher up this coliseum, you see almost like tattered rags blowing across, holding up the top of this coliseum, just to keep the wind and almost funnel it down into the center to make just more of an atmosphere. As you're seeing this entire scene, it's circling and doing kind of this quick spin around the auditorium. It starts to funnel in on a rather small child who's hanging on tight to a larger figure's hand, but he's also holding on to, in his offhand, hilted this small wooden, kind of crudely cut sword. It almost looks like it was driftwood, shaped just enough to be considered a child's sword. And he looks up, and you hear this soft voice asking, Why are we here, Dad? Why are we doing this? And all he gets in return is this sharp glare. We're here to figure out which of them deserves to be here. We're here because if they can't prove that they should belong, they can go home to the rest of them pansy-ass people over in the guilds. We are here so you can learn how to actually be a man and deserve to hold that sword in your hands. And you see just this kid looking both up in wonder and awe, but also kind of in terror as he doesn't know why it's so loud. You can see him almost like trying to shelter his ear in his shoulder. It's just doesn't understand the confusion, the audio pain, but also the intrigue. You've been here before, but this is the first time that has been to this celebratory stance. And you see, as the horns, the trumpets sound out, and you see the combatants start to go at it. You see the elephantine warrior start charging, and immediately goes in for a gore, follows up with a big sweep from an undercut of the mace. Each time, this small figure sidestep, blocks with the shield, sidesteps again. 4, 5, 6 steps. You see the elephant almost take a half stumble as this guy he's putting every weight and effort into these hits. One solid blow will completely eliminate this guy. You can just see the ferocity in these attacks can drop this guy. But every cool, confident, and slow but methodical sidestep. Until finally, you see him raise his shield, bat the mace to the one side, and you hear just the most horrifying, above the noise, above the sound, above the calamity, the most horrifying guttural scream, pure anguish, terror, and rage, as this small individual just yells, throws a hand out, and you just see a blaze of white, bright light. You're in high noon daylight, and this white, piercing light is brighter than anything you have ever seen. 5, 6, 7. A machine gun of white light explodes from this figure's hands. You see this elephantine figure almost stand up straight from the shock and fall straight back, as there is just silence across the crowds. Not even willing to whisper oh my God, did you see that? Silence. You kind of look up to your father to figure out what just happened. He gives you a half-cocked look, just subtle, keeping an eye on the field, but addressing you very directly and in a very soft but sharp tone. That is what you will be when you can leave. You're no more than 6 years old. That is what you were left with before you no longer saw him anymore. You don't know where he went or why he went. But as you step out, the entire room, pristine and clean, outside of the ectoplasm that is scattered across from this gelatinous cube. Zephyr and Nikoni, you see as Kuz steps out, the shadows start to kind of recede back in. That starry form starts to fade and shift and kind of well back up as that last bolt of energy sucks back into his hand. We step back into the story as you guys are present in this chamber, again, pristine and clean. To the one side, to the west, is a large staircase that you all just descended from. To the right of that staircase is a hallway that extends that you have not taken the time to look down as you've been a little preoccupied with the gelatinous cube in front of you. But to the left of the staircase is the dais previously described. It is a simple two-step up, 3 chairs around. Incredibly well-built, ornate wooden carvings, but the velvet has largely been eaten away by time. Again, it looks as though the two that flanked the main dais, or the main almost throne-style chair, had 2 figures on it that have dusted away. Their bones, the one is still in its chair, looks to have almost died in a pose of just holding their head up in contemplation. The other one has fallen through the base of their chair and is in a pile of bones in front of you. The last chair, the center focus, again, stone carved for the most part, but is inlaid with, from what you guys were able to gather, looked to be incredibly well crafted, but fake jewels overall. The back of it was not stonework and has a rusted sword sticking through the back. Nobody sits on this stair. In the main chamber that was pristinely clean but held this gelatinous cube, the only item remaining is a long tube-like cylinder that, to Kuz, you had guesstimated that you thought it sounded like a cannon of sorts that had these white carvings etched throughout it. But as you guys look at that, the white engravings and these markings throughout the entire outside of this barrel are rapidly kind of fading away. I bring you guys back into our story tonight.
One of y'all are magic. Can you look at these runes before they disappear here?
I'll also remind you, I know at least one of you has been hurt. I don't remember who or how bad, but at least one person's taken some damage.
I'm dying. I kind of saunter over and go, if you wish for me to look at it, I will.
Yes, please.
And I attempt
Go straight to your hips.
And I attempt to look at,
As we have told that.
Better than here.
Right?
I will attempt to look at the runes on the tube.
The runes of what?
The runes on the tube.
Oh, is it tube?
Yeah, is it tube?
I thought you were saying
Is it
tomb. I'm like, I at no point did I describe a tomb.
Yeah, you did.
So,
Well, these guys are.
well, I
dead,
suppose
so.
they weren't entombed. They just, this is turned. Okay, I see the great picture. I done screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm not an English major yet.
Never.
No. All right, have at it. Arcana check, por favor.
18.
All right. So as you start reading through these runes and you're working on, and they're fading rather quickly. You're looking over, and again you see these 2 large holes flanked on each side, and you see a very small hole towards the top, set a little bit back to the side that's capped. But the thing that you do notice is whatever this tube is has to do with light and enchantment. You're not quite able to discern a specific spell or pattern or anything like that, but specific to this item has to do with enchantment and light effect.
Okay.
It is also incredibly heavy. Like you start to pick this up and it feels like cast iron. It is heavy.
What?
Do I get anything when I detect magic on it? If I were to
Yeah.
stare at it, detect magic?
Fair enough. So yeah, you start looking at this and you don't get so much of the light part, but not only is it incredibly magical, it is transmutation, illusion, and enchantment. Those are the three main kind of schools that were put into the design of this thing. You'd also say that in your study, you've read about different magical items, of artifacts to minor items. This might not be artifact level, but it is designed for a very explicit purpose. It has something important, but to what end? You're uncertain.
Well, it looks important, but I don't know if we can carry it out of here.
Can we break it open? Is there something inside? Or is this just it?
I'm gonna just above table. I dare you to put your face in front of it.
I was gonna say,
No,
is this
I'm
like
kidding.
staring into a gun barrel?
I mean, you have a party member who said it's a cannon.
Yeah.
I'll let you now step back into the role play.
Also, didn't realize that you could do that there, Kaz. Kids.
Cause.
Gotcha. I'm not going to remember that.
That's fine.
It's like because.
God told me it's like because. So maybe that'll help.
I doubt it.
We'll find out.
That only works because I was saying cuz, and because that's how it sounds. And I'm like, well,
That's it, there we go.
damn it. While we're talking, while you all are figuring that out, I'm going to borrow one of them there cookies because it's Halloween,
I was going to
and I'm
borrow it.
practicing
That's
being fat.
disgusting.
I have proven twice that if you need this back, I will give it back. That is your choice. At that point, you make a good decision.
Well, are we going to carry this out of here, or are we just going to leave this piece of junk behind?
I'm sure we can come back for it. I'm not carrying it while we're down here. That said, how heavy is it? Like, could the three of us carry it if we really tried to?
Would a dirty 20 be able to carry it?
You're able to pick up one end. You are not able to carry it in its entirety.
And we are, what,
This
a few
isn't a-
miles, few days away from...
A couple days.
Okay.
A couple days from the area proper. Not to say there aren't settlements and establishments, but this was a rather remote area that Tatsuya had sent you guys to attempt to figure out. There is something that he is missing. He doesn't know what it is, and he's giving you specific instructions to find whatever he doesn't know and bring it back.
Kids got back.
Sweet.
If we bring it, we need horses or something. I'm not carrying that.
I really don't want to carry it myself either. Let's leave it here for now. I mean, I don't think anything else is going to try and take it from here.
No. But if we kept the Jatnos cube thing alive, it could have carried it for us.
Just keep baiting it to come forward.
Exactly.
Walks
So it's like,
How
Come
would
on,
it have
guy.
worked with the
Hurry.
stairway? I guess it doesn't have eyes.
yeah, I could see through my shadows. Well,
Oh.
smell, maybe. It found me.
I don't think it has a nose.
I don't know either. But it found me.
Well. Anywho, I'm going to walk over to the dice.
Magic.
Walk over to the dais.
Those things are good. They're good.
Yeah.
See if there's...
Apparently, if you put enough chocolate and caramel at things, they are tasty.
Well, I'm refraining from grabbing more of both things that are in front of us. Just 'cause
That
I
pan
will.
has to be gone before we leave tonight, so I don't care if you take it home with you. I'm not dealing with it here tonight.
I exercised today. I can eat it.
Ready, break! Anyways.
Maybe they just take the man.
I digress. So you've taken a look at the tube in front of you that has been deemed to be. I'm going to borrow another one of these because these are delicious. You're doing great. See? For those of you at home, we just convinced somebody who did not want to have another fudge and caramel delectable deliciousness to have another. And Steve has cut him a rather large piece. It's okay,
Thank you,
everyone.
bud.
It's going to go straight to his hips.
Yes.
Look,
And
I'm gonna
since
grab
Tao's
him.
never going to listen to this, Tao, I apologize in advance that you have to look at that on your wedding day. You have a hallway that has got a stone wrought arc present, but there's no door leading down it. And then there is this 3-chair setup.
Yeah. You mentioned you were going to look at the days.
Where's your whiskey?
Yes, sir, we. Looking
Alright.
at that thing, seeing if there's anything on it. Right.
So looking for a little more
Or you
information
don't
on
have
it.
visible
You're
food.
looking, that is great. Are you doing are you trying to investigate? Are you looking for magic? Are you looking for nature? What? Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for.
Looking at the surface of this thing, honest to God, my brain is blanking on a dice or a dais. I just want to look at the surface because I know it's like the top surface. You know, it could either hold something or it has writing on it.
I'm looking at the walls for writing. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna walk around the outside. Ignore you.
I will also give you, because your thing has some range on it, you did not notice any magic coming from the remainder of
Okay, so I don't
the
have to
days
ask
area.
you. Okay.
So you're looking at the top level by the main area. The biggest thing that you can see is, so the first tier has got the step up. The second tier has a 2-step to get to the main stairs, so it's a solid 3 feet down that the chair is then perched higher than that.
Okay.
So whoever this was, there was clearly enough space that if somebody really wanted to hide behind there, probably could have gotten away with it. Enough to have gotten an attack in on whatever the individual that was sitting here was. There was clearly an assassination attempt that happened. As to what the other two, who seem to die in their chairs, enough to have a pose, they don't seem to have any bodily harm. They just seem to have died and were left to rot out.
That pile of bones.
For those of you at home, we still have a dog. Has not changed in the last 20 minutes.
For the pile of bones, I'm gonna start moving those around, see if there's anything in it, under it, or so on.
Investigation, please.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I don't
I
like
found
that.
this house, too.
That's a natural 1 for a total of 0.
You
So,
suck.
Look at this shit. Smacks the bones.
well, what you find out is despite his Plague Doctor mask, and he has a lot of that potpourri at the tip of the nose, Zephyr is allergic to dust. Now canon. Hashtag canon. So we found out a little bit a lot. You start getting in there and you kind of kick it around and some of the dust kicks up and you just kind of start sneezing in and it's like, oh god, it's in my mask. For everybody at home who has not lived through a pandemic, sneeze in your mask once, see what happens. Everybody just grimaced. It's fantastic.
This sucks.
I've had a cold with my mask is just dripping all over. I'm like, oh yeah.
Pretty much. That is now the situation you find yourself in. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Zephyr, the Plague Doctor allergic to dust.
Oh no. And it's even more ironic because you know what I am, too.
I do.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
You're welcome. What?
God.
Hey, my job is to get him as close to 1 as possible without killing him.
Well, congratulations.
I haven't gotten him close to 1, but he's now allergic to dust.
That is fun.
Thanks. Putting that on the list of things to not touch or deal with.
How would I kill Zephyr? Tornado.
Gloves.
Alright.
I'm gonna order movie.
Alright, pick the good one. I heard Chucky's on. You're not gonna watch Chucky. Don't watch Care Bears. I don't like that one.
I'm gonna turn it on just for you.
Okay, well, make sure it's off before I go to bed.
Nope.
I don't need those nightmares tonight. For those at home, I apparently have nightmares to Care Bears.
And Teddy Grahams.
Well, teddy bears induce my nightmares, and that's a whole other psychology thing that I'm not prepared to deal with. So, fun fact for y'all.
Don't get any Teddy Grahams. Or bet.
Yes, that is what you discover. Is that you start getting into these bones, you kind of knock some of them loose a little bit, and it's just this plume of kind of unsettled, disturbed dirt and dust.
Nothing underneath or otherwise.
Not that you see with a 1.
Okay, fair enough.
How about you guys? Anything fun or exciting?
Anything special about that sword? Just kind of a sword. Looks rusty, maybe.
I mean, I bet if you stabbed yourself with it now, you'd get tetanus.
Okay.
Magical property, tetanus.
I don't recommend it.
It'll kill you in 3 to 6 weeks. Trust me, tetanus sucks. I almost lost a leg to tetanus.
Jesus Christ.
Just like gangrene.
Because I got tetanus. Yes. You're right. You can also get gangrene from tetanus. The more you know. Don't drop a deep fryer that's been sitting in a garage for 8 years on your leg when you are like 15. And then try to go swimming in a lake that has not been cleaned ever. Because it's a lake.
I'm proud of you, Robert.
What? That's still alive somehow?
Who's responsible for
I've
cleaning
heard
this?
so
They're
many
doing a
different
horrible job.
stories. I'm shocked.
I don't have a lot of positive stories about things, but I have a lot of lessons learned.
You any inscriptions on the dais at all? Like words that might give us any sort of clue?
It looks
On
like
the
this.
maybe on the thrones, even.
Yes. So you have the first floor that has the 2. Then you have the second tier, but on the foot that goes around the kind of the foot of the second tier. Again, I described it as there's 2 steps up, but on the top step, it is described as power is truth,
What is she for Halloween?
truth is
I don't
perception.
know what your dog is for Halloween. How many Halloween costumes
Power
you
is
have.
truth, truth is perception.
She's so pretty.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's
She looks really comfy.
surprisingly, because again, a lot of the things
More
in
comfortable
here
than a human does.
were written in Draconic. This was inscribed in Common.
Okay.
So, whatever happened between that first kind of subsection of this home or this area, something has changed. It almost feels like there's a dynamic shift. That maybe the inhabitants were Draconic, but whoever built this place maybe had a they weren't the last ones to have it,
Okay.
or the first ones to have made this.
And wasn't the words up at the top of the stairs halfling?
They were.
Okay. So there's draconic, halfling, and common around here. Draconic halflings.
Meanwhile, while you're reading that, Zephyr's just.
Can't get it out of my mask.
Oh, this sucks! If I take it off, there's gonna be more! This place is unclean.
Which again, because that gelatinous cube had not left that main area, the main area is pristine. The most clean environment you have ever been in outside of the ectoplasm that has now been scattered across. But it is like medical hospital level clean. This area is thick with dust. And at that kind of entry barrier that shifts to the next room, you can see the dust buildup.
Weird. So for some reason it wasn't able to go into this other room.
Or it wasn't choosing to, whichever. If you have a sentient gelatinous cube,
Okay.
for whatever reason, it did not cross that threshold.
Have we crossed it? We've crossed
Yeah,
it.
you've crossed it, you've been- yeah.
Like pass over.
See,
some
wait a minute, are we
barrier.
just looking at this from ways away?
Yeah. Okay.
Got my telescope out.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead.
if power is perception and stuff, this guy wasn't very perceptive with the sword.
Power is truth, truth is perception.
Okay.
And paper beats rock.
We go by Big Bang Theory rules here, and it's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
I want to die.
Have you seen the one with like the 20 different?
It's fantastic.
Like, what? Check behind the dais.
Yep. So that's where
Can't do that.
that's where he
Oh,
was.
oh,
He
he
was
is? Oh, with
the
the
biggest
boss.
thing that he was able to glean out of that is that there, however this was set up, whether or not there were things back here previously, it does lend to a very convenient spot for somebody to get back there. Like there's, it doesn't make sense as far as a design feature, because why on earth would you leave a gap between the back of somebody important
Yeah.
and give them room to have something happen?
Makes sense.
Because it looks very clearly like somebody took a sword and put it through the back of a chair, but the design of it almost doesn't make sense.
And you say there wasn't a skeleton on that chair.
Correct.
So for some reason there's a sword there. I wonder if
Yeah.
it's symbolic. Maybe there were only 2 people. Or the skeleton walked away. I don't know. Or he survived.
Nobody can see him, or at least for the podcast, my eyes just went wide because I'm just like,
The guy who's been playing with me for 3 years just had his eyes just go wide. So he's trying to come up with what the hell I created.
What did Robert do this time? What kind of wacky bullshit is Zephyr not going to be smart enough to figure out? Because he's dumb as balls! So, speaking of dumb as balls, Zephyr, because he's sneezing so much, is going to leave this dusty-ass room, walk into the pristine one, realize the difference, and just... Do I want to do this? Ah, fuck it, let's see what happens. This place could be a lot cleaner. And is going to take a bit of that slime, and is going to throw it into the other room. Into the room with all the dust in it.
Anywhere in particular you're tossing it?
At the skeleton that's actually sitting there, like in the board pose or whatever.
Range attack roll, please.
Done deal. There's a 19 if we're going by deck standards.
Yeah. So you take, there's this globule, just a... Yeah, it hits kind of like the center chest cavity, and you see the thing buckle and almost just like collapse in on itself. And then like the top half that's sort of falling down, the head rolls down the front, but the like chest cavity falls through the back.
Oh, this place is a little cleaner now.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of see the same kind of fluid just like...
He'll
It's almost like glitter mixed in the wind, but it's just gross.
Yes. He'll take the he'll go into a corner that's nice and clean, face the corner,
Cry.
take the mask off, clean it out basically, and then put it back on.
Alright. Kaz, what are you doing during this exchange? They're looking at magic, they're looking at the dais, or is this the entire time you're spending just focusing on trying to figure out how you're going to get this stupid tube out of here?
No.
Otherwise, there is a hallway down the other direction. You're welcome to wander.
No. I decided to do something weird.
I encourage weird.
Yeah. So the chair that has the sword through it,
Yes.
I'm going to sit on it, but like around the sword.
Okay.
So I'm not going to remove the sword at all.
Fair enough.
My brain just panicked so hard. You weren't even there for it, Steve. One of the first things that went so wrong with the very first campaign we played, with the spike at the table, and I said blood.
I was there for that.
You were? I don't
Yeah.
remember you being there for that. All
I
I
was
remember
going to
is
say, the first thing that happened that I remember was the stupid kobolds and the ox. I attack an ox.
I thought I could knock it out. I didn't realize that was my very first roll in D&D, hands down.
First game, first roll ever of his career in D&D, and he had tried to, at level 1,
Knock out an ox.
knock out an oxen who was attached to a caravan that was actively being attacked by goblins, or kobolds.
The ox was freaking out, and it was on the ground, I believe, and it was gonna start, like, harming people. To my defense.
Don't worry, you did great.
But,
You
yeah,
didn't
no,
do
that's-
great.
I did it. It was
horrible.
It's okay. It was just a mess. But, no, I just had flashbacks to someone instantly dying, so... Yeah.
I'd like you to go ahead and roll your choice of Constitution or Wisdom. Not a saving throw, a check.
I don't like that.
What's it con? Yeah, dirty 20.
Yeah, you kind of you go to sit, and this is not only probably the comfiest chair you've ever seen, and you've sat in. You kind of like sit and you sink into it, and it almost just kind of forms to your body a little bit. And then you feel something kind of squish a little bit in the base of the seat, and it's just uncomfortable and awkward. And you know what? You don't care. This is just a comfy ass chair. The best way to describe it is think of the most comfy chair you've ever seen in your existence, and it was left outside overnight in the rain for a night. But it is a comfy ass chair.
Okay.
Does that give you a vivid image?
Sure.
Wow.
So I hope that helps. But other than that, yeah, you kind of sat in there and it's like, wow. All right. You kind of look around and you see Zephyr and you see Nikoni, and it's just all right. This is just all right.
Cool. I take a nap.
Long rest. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Zephyr's gonna start going back into the room, just look at you. What are you doing?
Oh, I decided to take a nap there.
We didn't decide that as a group.
But it's a nice chair.
I'm gonna walk up and poke the chair. Just like gloved hand and all still, just like very, very, just like tentatively poke this chair. This is disgusting. How are you sitting on this? How are you even touching it? Why are you touching it?
For you, I would like you to make just an intelligence check.
What's that baddest one in disdain? That's a good old fashioned 5.
Yeah. Yep, that's wet. There's a wet chair.
Ugh.
We had a neighbor throw out a chair once.
Why is this so wet?
Started thinking about it, I was like, wow, I wonder how long the thing sat there. It had to have rained. It probably rained. That's gross. I hope somebody didn't pick that up. Did the trash pick it up? Or did that guy... Yeah, there's a guy that was looking for a chair. I wonder if he picked it up. God, that's gross. Who would pick up a dirty chair?
Always people are awful people. Gross. Why is it so wet though? If you're gonna sleep in it, you should at least stop it from being so wet.
You guys figure out what you're doing next. I got a dog that I have to apparently still have and let out.
I'm just gonna say it's most likely a gelatinous cube.
My brain is going to like a mimic that hasn't decided to try and eat you yet. Like it's just chilling, just vibing. It's like I want someone to sit on me. I realized what I said after I said it. And mimics have a life too. You have to procreate somehow. I'm going to twist the top of my staff and pull the top off, revealing a short sword, and I'm going to stab the chair.
Why would you do that? It's a chair. It's already been stabbed.
It's disgusting. I'm going to stab the squishy part.
It's all squishy.
I would like you, sir, to roll an attack roll.
Got it. I'm going to roll the
Kill
other.
my chair. I'm going to kill you.
I almost rolled it out 20. Almost. That is a 24, though, to hit.
You hit the chair. Now, I would like to know, are you attacking the from the back? Are you attacking from the front? Are you attacking the back? Or are you attacking the base?
To catch it flat-footed.
Whatever part's actually squishy. Like,
So
if he's sitting...
Again, it's either going to be the back of the chair
Yeah.
or the base of the chair, but I want to know which of the two are you attacking and from what direction.
I'd, like, half imagine that, like, what he's sitting on is squishy, so I was just going to straight up stab into the seat of the chair.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
just plunge it, basically. Almost
Damage.
surgically. Fucking A. That is 9 points of damage.
What weapon are you using?
My short sword.
Short sword. Yeah.
And then just pull it right out.
I think the part that you're most upset by is the sound that it makes as your sword sinks into the seat of this chair. As it's this gross kind of slurping noise. It starts off almost with a satisfying, but then the pulling it out is...
Did that sound like a breath to me, or was
That was
that just
half
you?
of that was just me breathing because
Okay.
I am a human that needs to breathe.
I was gonna
Apparently.
say that scared the hell out of me.
I will also remind you, Nikoni, you detected magic in here.
Yes.
There was no magic in here.
Okay.
So
He didn't tell me that.
that's
You don't tell me shit, I don't know.
group
Yeah, probably
communication.
I will absolutely play shit that I do not know if you can't tell.
Yeah, no, Cody probably won't say anything when detecting magic, but probably will act on that stuff, but not say anything. You guys might see her eyes kind of flash, like a little bluish.
I will not.
But-
Do you really think Zephyr's gonna give a fuck?
Right.
The answer is no.
Okay. So
do
yeah,
I-
no, you hit that chair good.
Is there any like liquid of any type on it? Like, can I tell if it's?
I mean, it looks like it's damp. Like maybe it was left out in the morning and it's just got some like dew on it. But
Okay, so it's
it
okay.
looks like you stabbed a waterlogged seat.
Okay, so it's not just the fact that it's like, say, I don't know.
I will give you one more intelligence roll, and everybody can probably take this one,
Otherwise, I'm gonna push.
or
this
I guess
thing.
wisdom on this one.
Wisdom.
Is that a no? A big no from Kaz?
13.
That's 5.
So Nikoni, the biggest thing that you're kind of piecing together on this is it doesn't make sense where it's this place is thick and covered in dust. This chair is squishy and damp, but it smells dusty like it would be a dry dust, not wet. So something doesn't. There's something that is missing.
Right.
It doesn't make sense, but there's no magic in here, so
It's not magically wet.
they shrug. Like
Yes.
what? It seems very weird. A very weird situation.
Do the other chairs look wet too?
No, they are. Those are the ones that are specifically covered in dust and very
Makes sense.
thick with everything. It looks like those were almost the people that passed there died and then were left to decay. Like they're very specifically dried out.
This chair is disgusting. You should destroy it.
Nakoti's gonna go to one of the guys, the one that didn't get slime thrown at it, and kind of emulate what happened to this chair, but with like a dagger, and kind of stab a dagger through the back of it. See if anything happens.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so easy enough, and just because I don't want to beat a dead horse,
Sure. Nothing happens.
nothing happens, and you don't get any sense of additional magic happening. There's nothing that changes.
Sure.
This room has no magic in it.
Mm.
So if you're looking for something to trigger, something to happen, that's
Sure.
not going to be the case.
Makes sense.
At this point, Zephyr's tired of being in this room. He's going to kick the chair that
I'm
is all
sitting
squid.
on?
Yes. And he's going to walk.
It's a stone-built chair. Like it's carved out of stone.
He's just like, is that annoyed kick? Like, I'm just fucking kicking this and walking away.
I picture like the Viggo Mortensen kick when he kicks a helmet and breaks his foot. So don't do stupid shit or I will break your foot. Life happens.
For once, I'm actually playing a character with a below average intelligence. Like, all the other ones, I just played dumb. This one is actually dumb.
It makes me feel like maybe it's the player, not the... No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to.
We're all having fun here.
I'm going to stand up from the chair, but while standing up from the chair, I'm going to be shocking grasping that.
The stone...
Like the arm of the chair, I'm like standing up from,
Okay.
and while holding it, I'm shocking grasping it.
Okay. Are you doing anything to just deal damage, or what are you trying to
It's
get
more
a
just
reaction?
to see if a reaction happens.
It's a stonework chair. It's nothing specific
Okay.
is going to happen.
Do I see his eyes glow blue? Or her eyes glow blue?
I did that earlier.
That's his.
It would have been
detect
over-
magic
over
that he
here,
can do
yeah.
at will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you still don't have that up at all?
Probably. If I can do it without it being annoying, she probably does it fairly often. But
I'm going to assume it's kind of a passive for the most part.
Yeah. So you've probably seen her eyes glowing at one point.
Okay.
The only thing that I will
Multiple
request out of you from a player standpoint, while I will assume it's kind of a passive at that point, is if a new triggering event happens within something, I will ask you to call that out because A, I don't want to have to remember other people's abilities, but B,
Sure.
situations can change. So if you enter a room and there's nothing, but then something happens, that's going to be on you to call out.
Sounds good. So,
Can do.
Alright, so then at this point in time, would you have noticed magic being used?
there is no magic in this room as far as I can tell.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, would you have noticed my shocking grasp magic?
Yeah, I probably would have.
And would she have actually detected it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. There's not magic in the flying room.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
so-
time you cast it, it just keeps pinging off that tube that you guys found earlier.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just going to rotate my staff back together. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't understand this room. Fuck it. Let's go. I'm done.
No
Starts
holes.
walking out.
No holes to put the tube in or anything like that. Like
Nope.
Okay.
Not that you're seeing it again, whether or not there's something later on, but it's to your point. If this were to be a cannon, the you're missing effectively like the axles or the wheels,
Yeah.
and then you're missing whatever would be the ignition and whatever is going to get loaded into this for it being something with enchantment and light, or to your point, enchantment, illusion, and transmutation. So there's something there. I don't know. There's something.
Alright.
And whether or not this is the thing that Tatsuya is looking for or not, you don't know. Again, we're not given information as to what it is. You just know it is critically important, and for you guys to bring it back successfully is what is kind of your initiation to full-fledged members of the combined union of Tatsuya and the Bandage Brigade. So,
Alright.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more stupid thing then.
do a stupid thing.
And then we will
Pull a sword up.
I thought about that. Like, I legitimately thought about that. I don't
Either strength or dex.
Strength. 18.
think- Ballin'.
You have one rusty short sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please add that to your inventory. Congratulations, first piece of loot.
Zephyr, so there's only one other way, because there's this room.
There's
And then-
the stairway out. So again, I'll kind of redirect the map because I'm not hiding this particular map, because you guys could even have been given a map of this place. So you guys came down the stairwell.
Uh-huh.
To the left was the dais. To the right, there's the stone archway. No door or anything. It looks like there's places to have had a door, but it has been removed. Most assumably by said gelatinous cube that was just pressing up against and dissolved it away. But then there is a hallway that leads further in. About 40 feet down, you see another room that does have a simple wooden, almost looks like a wooden latch
Okay.
for a door with a small like slit at the top with the double crossbars. Almost looks like the hashtag style crossbars. That stands about the total door stands about 6 feet. The window is about 5 feet up.
Guess we'll head over there.
I was gonna say, walking right over there and towards the room. Just
There is a door in your way.
fantastic. One of you open this door.
You spent an hour on the dais. There was a total red herring minus there is a potential thing there. But
Okay, we're going back. No.
again, the thing is the mystery that you guys kind of
Yeah.
figured out the mystery.
Sure.
Now whether or not you can figure out what the hell's happening with it. Nope.
Right.
I thought I you the door.
To
Is it
open?
yeah. Is it unlocked?
It is unlocked.
Yeah, look, door's open.
So yeah, you thaumaturgy. It makes this loud kind of awkwardly quiet for as hard as it hit. It makes a very almost dampened echo of this. And inside, just inside, without having approached quite yet, the first thing you see is on the right hand side. You see two sets of kind of wrought iron cages, and then you see one on the far side of the room to the left, and this is just from the tunnel chute vision heading down. You also notice that there's about a 2-foot step down into this room, and you get this kind of shimmer because who has the light source and what light source is it? Or are you guys all relying on dark vision?
I have a lantern. It's that
Lantern.
little. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we have dark vision.
So yeah, you're
remember.
seeing just
Yeah.
enough of the glint off. It seems to be a very moist surface. whether or not it's full water or you just see that shimmer of like something is wet. You just see that reflection.
Why is everything disgusting here?
Oh, it's almost like it was abandoned and just like left to rot. I mean, who'd have
Doesn't mean it
thought?
doesn't look like shit.
There should be a caretaker in this abandoned place. God damn it!
If you're gonna leave a place abandoned, it should be well taken care of before you abandon it. God.
I've been in 100-year-old dungeons with torches still.
They're never gonna get their deposit back.
The resale value is absolutely falling through the floor. I don't know what he sees in this place.
God.
So you said it looked like there's possibly water down there?
Yeah, so again, this is just the tunnel view as he
Sure.
kind of kicks the door open as you guys are...
Okay.
It's a short approach. It's 40 feet. You're not going to take long to get there, but it's that bullseye lantern view of like that light hits that glossed surface as it catches the reflection off the water or smooth surface, and then you see kind of that reflection off those wrought iron cages. There seems to be 3 of them in the room itself. Are you, assuming you guys approach, or are you guys
Yeah.
doing anything different?
Yep, we're approaching.
We'll walk in and start looking at these cages a little closer.
Okay.
Seeing if there's... I guess there's nothing in them. They're just empty cages, or...
Maybe bones?
Well, a couple things happen.
Oh.
First thing I need is anybody who is approaching said door, which is all y'all.
Yep.
I need y'all to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Nope.
10. I'm rolling rocks
10, you said
tonight.
3.
Correct.
13.
Well,
13, you'll be taking half. 4, 4, 2. As there seems to be just this quick, as you guys step across the threshold of the door, there's just a flash of this like electric energy, just that zzz, shocks you quick. And then you see this flash of a bright, kind of this blue ruin on the floor, and then it almost kind of bursts into this smoke. Just, it seems to be gone.
Just gonna get that on the phone.
Love games that don't have rogues.
This place sucks. I hate this. Everything is awful.
everything is awful.
I was just gonna say, like, isn't there a
Almost.
song about that?
I
Yeah,
almost
you
did
guys
that.
walk in, and again, it's this. There's one step that leads down into this further additive, and when you step into this room, I'm gonna bring up just a little bit more articulate of a map, just so you guys have spatial awareness. This is not me saying that there is a combat here. This is me saying that I have a big book of maps to help me.
I believe nothing.
You don't have to believe anything. I don't pay you to think. So
You don't pay me at all.
So you guys are stepping into this first room coming out of this direction. I just had 3 minis and I put them on the other side of this. Perfect.
Probably.
So there's... Stepping into the room, there are these 2 large kind of 10 by 10 cages that fill up the entire right side of the room. In the back left corner, there's another one, but it seems a little bit smaller. It seems more of like a maybe 5 by 5 or 7 by 7. You're not quite sure. It seems a lot smaller. And then immediately to the left, there seems to be a small desk or a workbench of sorts. Small kind of chair besides it with a broken crate just off to the back corner. For the most part, it seems like this place has been fairly, again, scavenged, but not in the pristine condition of the last room. You do notice there's about 1.5 inches of water in the bottom of this room as you get about, what was that, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 feet across. There's another that, the step up that would continue on past another door. Up above you, the ceiling stands about 20 feet tall, and this entire room has got this very damp and just almost chilly, kind of cold feeling from being in a cellar. But there's a blue orb up above that just seems to have this kind of swirling, kind of iridescent mist inside.
What the hell was that thing?
I don't know, you haven't done anything.
Pointing up this orb.
Did we see where, like, what shocked us? Was
Yes,
it-
there was a rune in the
Oh, gotcha.
stonework on the floor.
Gotcha.
And then it seemed to be almost like a one-time trip, because it went off, shocked the area, and then
Alright. Detect magic on the orb thing.
you do detect magic.
Woo.
Conjuration magic,
Conjuration.
I think. While you think about what
Sure.
you're doing, I'm going to confirm that I'm not lying to you.
Doesn't matter to me too much. Just mostly whether it's magical or not. Oh.
It is magical as hell.
Mage hand. I'm gonna touch it. See what happens.
Touch the butt.
Poke.
Yeah, you're able to. You reach up there and you kind of. Ting, ting, ting.
Kind of pull on it a little bit. Maybe turn it. See.
I lied to you. I forgot that was a whole thing. Divination magic.
Divination. Okay. Detection stuff. It's a camera.
Sprawled in blood on the wall. Say cheat. No, I'm kidding. Oh, I wish I had thought of that to be serious. Damn it. I suck. Anyways.
So, what's the deal with the orb?
Apparently can detect things. Divination. I don't
Divinationally.
know exactly what it's doing, but maybe it's keeping an eye on whatever should have been in these cages.
Perfect. If it's keeping an eye on us, we should break it.
I'll do that, maybe.
I
I'll start
need one of these.
grabbing a rock or something with mage hand.
I will let you do that. I'm gonna look at the cages.
While that's all happening, Kaz,
Hi.
first I need to know what you were doing as part of this, and then a couple things are going to happen.
I was planning on just staying in the door frame and then possibly casting thaumaturgy on the other door.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Do you mean thaumaturgy? Just thaumaturgy?
Yeah. Throws open doors and windows. Or it can if you choose that
Yeah.
effect.
I always forget if it's thaumaturgy or prestidigitation. Those
Nope.
two are always
Prestidigitation is
just so...
your cleaning one.
Sure, good point. I mean, I mix them up so much.
I mean, you got one, you got both.
Pretty much.
Right.
But
Fancy stuff.
you hear, as you're kind of taking in the scene, you hear in the back of your head this almost high-pitched, almost manic voice of,
No, go away, it's mine. It's mine. You can't have it. Tell him he's here for mine. You can't have it. Go away. You're not welcome here.
But it's
You
already
can
gone.
reply to this message.
It's already gone, though. I'm just say it's already gone.
You're lying. You're lying. I know it's not. It's... Hang on.
Bye.
No, I haven't. I checked. Great.
Are you sure?
you don't hear her reply back. But yes, you hear something in your head. The rest of you do not hear that as you're checking the cages. And for lifting a rock to... So I'm going to ask you, sir, to go ahead and make just a range attack roll for favor.
Nope. And I'm just gonna keep doing
So
it.
what'd you get?
I got a 8.
Okay, so it'll have it. It'll just take some time.
Right.
How about yourself? You're checking the cages. What are you looking to do with said cages?
Just seeing if there's anything on the floor of any of them, and then if there is, then I would try and open them. Well, I don't have lockpicking tools or anything, but you know.
You don't. They're not so much of lock picking as in they raise and lower based on huge chains that are up
gotcha.
into the ceiling.
Those kinds. Fair enough.
Yes.
But we'll just start
But
with...
yes, if you are intrigued in looking, there is in the one to the. What the hell? Which one's you? This
that
guy.
one, yeah, we're doing
So
that.
we're gonna say you're in the far one because he's here and I don't want to deal with multiple people in the same space. So you're in the far back right one and you're looking and you do see what seems to be. It almost looks like the membrane of an egg that's been smashed.
Is it kind of like that normal lightish egg, or are we kind of looking more into, is there a venation to it at all, or?
It almost looks like it was. and again, whether it might be because of the water, it might be because of the age, but it seems to have almost like that off-white, like that ivory off-white
Okay.
core shell, but then there seems to be like these thick patches of like orange on it. And again, you're just seeing from within the cage, not able to quite get to it. That's as best you can see unless you can find a way to lift it up and get in there, or Mage Hand pieces out. That's what you're able to get to at this current time.
Gotcha. Okay.
You're making a great choice.
Sorry.
So, yeah,
I got
that's-
distracted by more of that.
So you're working on that. One of the things, because I'm going to give this to you, because I'm kind of picturing you're lifting items up and trying to just get something heavy enough and bulky enough to do this. One of the things you do see behind the desk is there seems to be just this almost like lever, or this series of levers that you would assume would be able to lift the cages if needed.
Okay. I'm going to drop the rock and just kind of go over there and it's like, hey, found some levers, controls. I'm going to mess with them.
Fun. Do it one at a time.
I need you to roll a d6 for me. Let me know the result.
1.
1 is going to be the item over here. So you see that first one as you walk into the back right, kind of that
Shine the light over immediately.
slowly starts going up, and it stops about 6 feet off the ground, and just kind of has that it has a heavy sway to it because it's off just one chain at the top. Yeah, kind of lantern over, shines a light. You don't see anything immediately there. I mean, it's just again that kind of water covered surface.
Lower it. It's useless. And actually, at that point, I'm just gonna kind of shine at each of them before I keep telling them to just lift these freaking things up.
You notice, so outside of the this shell type thing that you saw in the back right one, turning around to the one that was closest to the desk, it almost feels like you see something. You can't tell if it's something reflective underneath the surface or if it's maybe just a discoloration of the water underneath. But there seems to be almost something off underneath one of the spaces in that cell or that cage.
Lift the fourth one. The fourth lever. Go for the fourth lever.
Well, considering there's 3,
Okay, well, I do the thing then.
take all of them. They all start going.
Sorry, my brain heard D6, and my brain was like, okay, there's got to be 6 levers. I don't know why.
It's 'cause
my
I was
brain
thinking,
thought-
Well, you know when there's 3,
Yeah.
it's easy math. I don't
Yeah,
have a
that's
D3 on hand. I know I failed as a DM for not having a D3.
Take the third one.
I do that.
All right. Yeah. And it kind of gets like almost caught at about the 3.5 to 4 feet, but it's at least raised up and kind of swings back and forth. Kind of hear this low creaking.
Don't let go of that lever. Do not let go of that lever.
I hold it.
I'm gonna walk in and like kind of look under the water, or under the shimmering water, and see what the heck's sitting there. I'm gonna poke it with the cane, of course, first, as I'm
Alright.
moving it around.
Sweet. Yeah. Then I would like you to go ahead and, if you would do me a great favor,
I don't like that.
make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yo, that is a 15.
That is not the answer I wanted to have. But what happens is as you start to step in, so you're tapping with the cane, and you feel the stonework in front of you until you realize that the plane in here is angled just slightly, that as you step and your cane hits a vacant spot in front of you, feet go out from underneath you. You manage to catch yourself on the edge of this kind of incline. But I do need you, or everybody, to roll initiative, please.
Okay, that's better. That's a 22.
I rolled the dice, it cocked between 18 and 19. I re-rolled it, it jumped, cocked between 11 and like something else. I rolled again, got a 3 plus 1.
I'm sorry.
all right. This one should not be a difficult one. But what was your
22.
4.
15.
All right, and all right. So first thing first, I need to roll these. Doesn't math. Does a 12 hit you?
It doesn't.
Does a 25 hit you?
It does.
You take 2 damage as you get bit around the ankle. I rolled a natural 20, and these things deal 1 damage. So I'm going to give you 2 damage as you are bit around the ankle.
That's fair.
As you kind of lift your foot as you're trying to pull yourself up, and there just seems to be these kind of silvered fish with these bright red streaks going across the back.
Go! Smacking you with the king.
Going into main initiative turn, it's going to be you, one of these guys, you, one of these guys, and yourself. That was not descriptive to the audience, so we're going to let them figure it out as we go through. Round 1.
Is it like attached to me, or is it just like a bite?
It bite.
Okay.
It was enough for flavor to see as it bit you that you saw this thing bite you.
In that case, it is immediately going to be for me a get up, disengage type of situation, or am I kind of like sliding?
Again, it was
still?
because it's not a steep incline, but it's a slick surface that's been underwater, so you hit your feet and it's just a slick plane. Just boom.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to pull yourself up if you are trying to get out of this.
Yeah,
So
I'm pulling myself.
Your
out of
action is
this.
going to be getting out of this situation.
That is fair.
So I can go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics, or use a spell for teleportation items.
I don't have magic. Acrobatics. That is a 18. I will also You know what? No, I won't, because it didn't do that much damage to me. We're fine.
Right? Does an 18 hit you?
Absolutely.
Does a 15 hit you?
It meets.
Meets it beats.
Okay.
So as 2 more of these things kind of take snaps at you, you take 2 more damage.
Knock it off!
1 from each. It is now one of these guys' turn.
So was I able to acrobatics my way out and then
Yes,
move
so
move out of?
Yeah, so you're able to kind of
danger?
get up and back up a little bit.
Okay.
And based on the movement, you see these things kind of like jumping and snapping and kind of flailing out of the thing.
Okay.
And it brings us to then, you're up.
Okay.
As you see your ally and comrade has taken a slip down this little cage and whoom, and now he's being attacked by fish.
We made a bad decision.
I immediately regret this decision.
You should have never pulled that lever.
I'm sorry. Okay, checking.
This is the danger of keeping like sweets in front of me when I'm not at home. Because like I have a ton at home and I'm so bad at eating them. But when I'm like here at D&D, for some reason my brain's like, get it, eat it, go now.
Yeah, when things are in front of me too, I'm like, okay.
Best your eyes, I will.
So I can see these things, right, from where I am.
I mean, they're fish. They're in the water. You are not up against the water's edge. So I mean, but you can kind of see the mini frenzy going beneath the surface. Whether or not you can target one, that's going to be a different situation. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
How about things that make them have to do saving throw or damage?
That you can see them well enough for that.
Okay.
At least enough to catch one of them and.
Alright, I'll do Sacred Flame on one of them. So they need a Dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage.
That is their. Thank you. That's their only good save. Well, a 9's not going to do it though. So what's their?
3.
Talk shit, get hit.
First thing I need to ask is, do you enjoy the smell of fish?
Sure.
If there was lemon involved, this would be perfectly cooked.
Oh,
Just,
yes.
but now it's wet and it's in the water.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, sad face. But you managed to, as you see him like frenzying around, kind of that snuff out, and then now there just seems to be one scurrying around.
As fluff, all my magic is kind of ice magic, so it'd probably be more of a frozen fish.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, it's more of like that instantaneous, like that mind spike, just like you see a stick through both sides, it's just, flops. I forgot about the ice part. That was my mistake.
No problem. I didn't mention it last week either, so. But
Well, you did. I just
cool.
Like I said, I was at a Halloween party.
Yeah,
I forget
it's all
things. We're doing great.
I like how your excuse isn't. It's been 2 weeks.
No, it's been a long day. You got 3 kids and you have trunk or treating since literally 11 o'clock, and we're starting at 9 or 8:30, and it's now 10, and it's been a long day. It's fine. I digress.
tomorrow's my Halloween stuff.
We have that too. We're not allowed to get off with just one because I have 3 kids, and it's not allowed to get off with just one. Welcome to Halloween, the most wonderful time of year.
I'm just going to work. That's all I'm going to do. I might
You
do
don't work.
You're right.
You go paid to just exist.
Sometimes.
Not kidding.
Sometimes.
Kaz, it's your turn.
I can't wait for the big reveal and your name is actually Casmodius.
Kazmatron.
Uh,
He's gonna be Kazakhstan. If that was your big reveal, I'm so sorry.
We're all wrong. It's just Kazoo. Robert almost spit take.
I had to DM 3 years of Saber. I would not be surprised. And just that, yes, sir.
I don't care if it ruins the mic. I'm just one day I'm gonna get someone to do a full spit take, and they're not gonna be able to. It's
It
just.
will not be me. You almost got Ryan that one day.
That was
an
super
exciting
fucking
day.
close.
I digress. It is your turn. There's but one lonely Quipper left in this cage that nobody else is by.
lightning lure?
Attack roll, please.
Is it attack roll?
I don't know, is it? I might be
The
mistaken.
target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled 10
Well,
feet.
you know what? These goddamn
And-
fish are not strong. How does a 4 minus 4 to a 0?
It is extremely close. But we're going to say no. So it's pulled 10 feet towards me.
Yeah, so you kind of see the last one, like, pull
Oh,
back.
it's flying!
You know what? I'm going to give you a how do you want to do this? You got a Quipper. There's 1 hit point.
Yeah. It just explodes. I figure as soon as I grab it, it goes past you, fish guts all over you.
Aw,
Yep.
can I get a dex?
But the little mini frenzy of these 2 fish seems to have dissipated, and the water begins to level out. Chipping away.
Right.
Did you say
Max
the water kind of got deeper at one point? Like
Yeah. So
kinda-
underneath this third cage, it's not that it's like a steep incline or decline at this point. It's that gradual just kind of well in to apparently a hole in
Okay.
there, but it was enough. It's been wet for a long time, so it's got that just slick that as soon as you hit it,
Oh, okay.
it was just. It's like a sheet of ice at that point. You just done, and he made a save, so you caught yourself. What?
Stick your magic hand down there, see what happens. Your magic hand, not your real one.
Is light light's not a concentration spell, right? So can I take a rock, cast light on it, take the mage hand, and put it down in the hole?
You sure can.
Oh, damn.
Gets you about it. So yeah, it goes down about 20 feet, and it seems to be just a very, as far as you can tell, a narrow shaft, but it goes down about 15 feet.
That's creepy.
Nothing down there.
Just a shaft, and I'm curious if there's any side passages. Can I see any side passages at all? Like,
How close are you looking to get?
I am going to walk over to it, and so I can at least see down into the hole.
Who's holding on to the said lever that you said you didn't want let?
Okay, so is it a thing where as soon as it's let go, it starts going back down?
The way you kind of figure this is it's kind of a safety precaution for
Okay.
somebody who'd be trying to contain somebody. It's I will hold it open to get it up, and then it is right back down.
My paranoia was correct.
So then I probably will still be over by the lever. I'll just move my guy here.
Look. You
and-
could just stay over there. I could just.
You guys.
If you threw the magic down there, I'm gonna cast levitate,
All right.
and I'm just gonna start floating up
We're gonna take your cue from
Over.
family. If you're good play, good choice.
and look into that hole, see if there's anything that I can see at all.
Perception check, please, or investigation, depending on how thorough.
Hundreds of fish.
Shit, either way. That's a 4.
Yeah, no, you see the light down there. I mean, you're a little off-putting. You're caught off as you're looking at this light. The thing that keeps drawing your sense is like, oh shit, how did I miss this? Like, that was quick.
God, how did I manage that one?
I mean, it's kind of that natural like shock reaction after you slip. It's like, where the hell? What? No.
All right.
It's more of that stasis of disbelief in yourself before really anything. But you see the rock down there. Like, you see the light,
Okay.
but you're really not noticing anything.
Okay. I don't see anything. Moving on to the other thing. I'm going to keep like 10 feet off the ground with this levitate.
So again, it's a 20-foot ceiling. You're 10 feet off the ground. The next door is about 1.5 feet off the ground, and then it's 6 feet of door. So you're above the next door.
Fantastic. Instead,
Just
I'm
throw it
going
out there.
to go surf for itself through the door. I'm just like, alright, I'm done here. I'm not touching this water anymore. If we want to lift up the other cage, there's an egg in it, but I don't know how I feel about that thing. Before I actually go through the door.
This door, right?
Yeah.
You're going over there? Okay. I am curious about the egg. Can I pick that up with Mage Hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're able to pick that up, and you do see
Okay.
it's. Go ahead.
Look at it closer. Sorry.
Yeah. So first thing I want is investigation check, and I'll give you possibly a little bit more off the description.
6 plus 2. 9.
Okay. Yeah. It's really brittle as you're picking this up. Namely, you kind of figure it's got that not brittle in the sense of like shale would crumble, but it's brittle in that like almost like paper that's been sitting in water. As you go to like pick it up, it just starts to like fall apart.
Ew.
It's gross, but you kind of realize, especially with your mage hand, you can kind of shift items around a little bit so long as they're still in the water and they kind of keep together. And yeah, you see that a very similar pattern, but it's got this white ivory kind of coloration to the main shell, but then it's got these bright orange spots on it.
Does it look like it could be like an egg of one of those fish things that we just killed?
Nature check, please.
Okay.
Don't touch the spots.
Mage, 12. 10. I have no idea.
Coming from the far north in the frost, fish was never really a strong suit of yours. You're having a hard time placing it. It might make sense. You feel like this is maybe a little large for some of the fish because the fish were real kind of tiny or petite, but these shells seem to be probably a good solid foot in length. If the shape that seems to be put together makes sense. But that's also not to say you're really not a fish guy. Maybe 200 fish live in one of these things. You don't know.
Alright.
It's hard to say.
Alright.
But you definitely can tell this. The one thing you are able to notice or detect with this is this has been here. This has hatched much more recently than the water came in. So this would have hatched before, has hatched within probably the last 15 years, and then the water came in.
Gotcha.
So take with that what you will.
I'm just going to detect magic one more time, take a look at everything other than the ball that I already know is magic, and then get going. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done here.
So you guys, you detect magic, and you obviously you do notice there is the ball from up above. You do notice from down here. Now that you're actually
geez.
inside the room, there is something that's kind of pinging a little bit.
There is something down there.
What? I didn't say anything. The fuck do you mean there's something down there?
I don't see it, but I can sense it. Can someone else grab that lever, please?
Zephyr will float over. And...
You're gonna Lakitu this.
Huh?
You're gonna Lakitu from Mario and just be like floating on your cloud, just fish over.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this at all. Do either of you have... Oh, can either of you do that, like, magic thing that cleans me off afterwards?
Thaumaturgy! Robes blow open!
No.
I am surprised there's no bard that has ever thought to do that. Just, I think thaumaturgy, your robes blow open.
Do the cloak of, like the dramatic cloak or what the fuck it's called, but then do it on the front and the back. But like, or even just on both sides. You use your action, just try to get your DM to be okay with it. Use your action to get both of them billow open, and it's just like on either side of you. But
Pretty much.
by the way, my levitate will last for 10 minutes.
Perfect. Let's waste it all.
And yeah, he's gonna go right in and try to grab this thing.
You're gonna levitate down underwater
With the
into
lever.
the tube with the lever. What are you trying to accomplish? You're grabbing this thing that is descriptive
grabbing
of
this thing.
What thing are you grabbing?
Not the rock. Whatever he is saying, like there's something else in there.
There's something down the tube.
Yes. Is it wide enough for me to go in? I assume
It's
so.
about 5 feet wide.
Okay. I mean, with levitate, I'm not swimming. I'm just unless because I can't
All right.
because it's how long? 15 feet?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Does anybody have anything that I can use to try and like hook this thing out?
I'm also going to give you your lantern doesn't work, but you do got your light spell down there, so that helps.
I hand you a javelin. No?
Try to poke that down there if I can, just because. Even though I know it's not gonna work, Zephyr would love to try and like waste a minute just to try and like fish out whatever he gets it in. It's not gonna work.
Not
and
at
then-
15 feet,
And then
no.
he's gonna go.
All right.
Like, okay.
I would like you to make an investigation check, please.
That's 13.
13. As you get down towards the bottom, I need you to make a luck check.
18.
That is a good luck check. If it was a 5 or lower, you were going to have some issues. But you get down there and you see 3 small vials.
Ooh.
One is kind of a darker, murky color, and 2 of them have kind of this iridescent red to them.
Absolutely grabbing all 3.
I was gonna have if you just because you threw a rock down there, if based on the luck, some of them would break. Yeah, you managed to grab 3 vials. 1 of a murky brown, 2 of a iridescent red.
Red means health potion.
Not always, as they have well figured out. In this case, yes, you have 2 health potions. They're potions of healing.
Okay.
I'll just give it to you.
I was gonna say because I would be able to figure. Well, as long as it was conducted in
It's
a.
a potion of climbing.
Oh, okay.
It's like, and we'll just throw that back down the hole.
And this is useless. Why would they put the solution to the trap inside of the trap, dumbasses? And float
I
back
was
up.
gonna say you also find a pile of bones.
Not my problem. Float back up.
Yep.
And it's just super soggy. The hat is for him is just weighing down.
I'm also going to tell you your incense at the
It's
mask
ruined.
is done. It
Yeah.
is just not working for you.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's expected.
But snot's all cleaned out.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
He did not want to take the mask off. He would much rather have the incense be ruined for now and get more later than to take the mask off.
I digress.
I found potions of shit. Puts him on its belt. Oh, wait. You look a little fucked up. Hands you one of the red ones. Take this.
Thanks.
You're welcome. God, I love it when people listen to me.
2d4 plus 2.
Fuck.
5 health. What's your max and what are you at? You burnt a consumable.
13 out of 20.
That. Thank God you guys are all healers.
Yeah.
I can give you an extra. I'll do one of my healing lights for another. 6.
Hey!
Hi.
Hoppa!
Let's see if there's actually any pluses to that. But
I don't.
I will let you know. I don't think there
so.
was.
Yeah, I think it's just your raw dice up to your level.
I'll let you know as soon as I figure it out.
Alright. Yeah, so you said you were going to work on thaumaturgy and open the next door.
Yes.
Awesome.
I just do.
As you basically kick this door open, you immediately see the top hinge like, and it rips itself off the thing and seems to start tumbling down a stairwell that was right behind the door with this loud kind of echoing.
No more stairs, please.
I look around and see if there's any words to say close your eyes.
There are no words above this door.
I think we're fine.
On this side. No, I'm kidding. You're good.
Austin Powers, eat your heart out.
What?
Austin Powers, eat your heart out.
Oh, yeah.
Start floating through the doorway. I ain't touching the ground for the next 8 minutes.
Yeah. You see it's a very short stairway. It goes about 15 feet, and it seems to open up into this big, kind of quaint chamber. It seems to be a well-lit, polished stonework floor. You see, from just even at the top of the stairs, you see these torchlights kind of flickering from down, spilling out into the room.
Oh, look at that. They have this place all nice and tiny, but they couldn't keep everything else up to running. Jerks. Jackasses.
Probably that person I've talked to before.
Person I talked to you.
Yeah.
Was it me? I didn't
Was
do
it
it.
him?
And you did talk to me before.
But you know his name. Her name.
Do I?
I think so.
Yes.
Who are you people?
As we've never introduced ourselves to each other.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Nakoni.
Fantastic. I'm Zephyr.
Oh, hi, Kaz.
Fantastic. Now you know us and you know our voices. Now, did either of us talk to you, or did you hear another voice?
Another voice.
What the hell did they say, and why didn't you share it with us?
It didn't seem important.
We are in the middle of an abandoned building, and there's someone else here that might or might not want to kill us. And you're telling me you didn't want to tell us, you didn't think it was important? What the fuck's wrong with you?
If we die, we die.
If you die, you die. I don't die. Fuck that.
Dies against my religion.
I prefer none of us die, honestly, because if y'all die, that means I have a higher chance of dying. I'm allergic to death, fun fact. That's why I wear the mask.
It's really bad for my health.
Dying, my only weakness.
Do you understand how your body smells after you die? It's disgusting.
I've never died before.
Fantastic. Let's keep it that way.
Oh.
Now, what did that person say?
It's mine, don't touch it, I still have it.
We're kicking their ass.
I'm touching it.
Or, if they are polite enough to just hand it
I
over,
think they hissed at me.
we're kicking their ass. Just kind of like, if you're here, ignore the fact that I said I'm going to kick your ass, and please come out with your hands up and whatever item you want to keep for yourself that you will give to us. Fantastic.
Okay. So I have you just in a tentative, like, coming down the stairs thing because you're now threatening somebody. So I'm just going to put you in a marching order before you even get into a room. Is this the marching order you want? Being Zephyr, Nakoni, and then Kaz.
Sure.
Works for me.
Why not?
All right. Stepping in,
Yeah. Well, floating in.
floating in.
No touching the ground.
Where are you just looking at?
As
where are you going?
As soon as I start floating
'Cause
in,
I-
if I can float up, I'm floating up to the just
the ceiling goes about 15 feet total.
Perfect. I'm gonna be in that like 10 foot right in the middle.
Okay. So, as you go in, you immediately see. I'll describe from left to right. From left, immediately you see just almost like a book table. It's about a foot and a half wide. It's got some larger tomes that are standing up that have a fancy kind of ornately carved bookends on the end of there. It's about 5 to 6 books on there. Looks like one's kind of in pretty bad disrepair, but the others seem to be pretty well standing. Going around, you see coming out here a door or a hallway leading out. Just make sure I put it in the wrong spot.
On our left.
This one. I erased the wrong space. Because I'm an idiot. But it's okay. There's a hallway that goes in this general direction, off further to the left. This corner, completely open. Nothing of... there's nothing. It's almost like the clean room back a little ways back. You see this incredibly artistically carved table. It almost looks like something that you would put out on like display in a showroom. It's got it's a 4-posted table. It's about 3 feet long, 2 feet deep, and each of the legs seems to tell a story as it's twisted up and throughout the entire frame. The top seems to be almost glassed with just imagery throughout the top. In the far right corner, there's a very simple wooden chest, and to the right wall is standing up a half bookshelf, standing about 6 feet total height, about 4 feet wide, just a small cube of books and tomes. Beyond that, there's no chairs, there's no study area. There just seems to be an art, some books, a chest, and this small book table.
If you are here, I love your table. I will not be taking that as much as I do love it. Looks fantastic. You can keep it. I'm gonna float over to that really worn down book and grab that one though. Like, very gently, but try and grab it and see what the contents
Okay.
are.
So I'm going to start with you over here. That brings us to Nikoni. What are you doing?
Detect magic again.
Detect magic. 6 books. Magic.
Oh.
Magic. Magic. Not magic.
Not magic for that.
Magic.
So much magic.
You just see this general aura of magic pretty much everywhere.
The heck is with this room? Just starts waving hands. Magic everywhere. Books. Stuff over there.
Zephyr will not grab a book since he said that. Just like, I'm sorry.
I'll try to focus on the books, see if I can tell what kind.
Over here.
Oh, the
are
ones he's next to.
Chart stack. Are you coming into the room?
Sure, yeah.
Couple things are going to happen.
Okay.
First thing I need out of you is a dexterity saving throw, please.
10.
You see the bookcase, almost Murphy bed style, out of the wall
Oh fuck.
as you, well, you already rolled yours, sorry. Zephyr, you are also going to need to make a dexterity saving throw as a menagerie of cutlery is hurled out of the wall.
17.
You take 8 damage
Oh.
as you get kind of the blunt end of a fork and the sharp end of a spoon. Take about half of that, so about 4 damage as the shrapnel comes out. You hear from within the room a loud And you see these guys get skewered by cutlery. And you are now here. He is here, right on the entrance of this room.
Fuck this! The shit flying all over the place. And it happened once he stepped in here. She stepped in here.
Are you okay?
I've shrapnel in my body.
Don't.
No, thanks. No, I'd like to avoid that next time. No, I appreciate the advice, jackass.
Oh.
You're trying your best, I get it. I can feel Carl slipping back into this, slowly but surely.
Carl's awesome.
I did want to play an asshole just a little bit, and I'm getting there.
Carl, the Juggernaut life cleric.
That went
So
down
fun.
multiple times.
He did, and he kept getting back up, too. Just,
Hey,
Because I kept healing
even when
you.
I NPC'd him, he saved everybody. You were in that fight. That's right. I'm gonna give full disclosure. When I brought in characters as an NPC to be part of this NPC Bandage Brigade. When we had people that needed to take sabbaticals, I'm like, hey, let's play some of these fun NPCs that are going to be turning into kind of this big concept throughout the game. Carl was a life cleric. For those that know Magic the Gathering, Ravnica, he was from Rakdos. He is a Rakdosian life cleric, kind of misogynistic and into self-flagellation.
whoa.
They encountered a really unfortunate trap with some poachers, and despite the trap, there was 4 level 3s, and the combatants were a single level 3 and a level 2 that almost party wiped the thing because of how bad this trap went off. Carl sacrificed himself to save the entire group, and to thank him for it, they paid for a very expensive resurrection despite not having the funds to fully do it, and indenture themselves to several other groups. That, long story short, Carl is now alive, and he's doing his asshole-ish stuff. Everybody loves Carl. Hi,
Right,
I'm Carl!
You didn't have a fucking choice.
But he is lovable, he is absolutely essential, but he just doesn't understand. Don't be a used car salesman. Keep going, you guys are doing great.
Is there anything else shaking right now? Like anything getting ready to fly at me?
Perception check.
Oh yeah, fantastic. That's an at 1.
No, there is not. The fact that that bookshelf fell, that still doesn't make sense.
Okay, so there's no, like, not somebody in, like, a little hidden passageway behind it throwing things at
Perception check.
it? Okay.
Like
Perfect
that.
timing.
That was menacing as hell.
10.
Yeah, as far as you can see, you stepped into the room, and you feel just off the kind of the cuff of your boot a very subtle tripwire
Gotcha.
that seemed to have set this series off.
I hate that. Sorry, I went into the wrong voice there. Oh my god. You got Carl, slowly.
You also feel with that perception is like, son of a bitch, he was floating in. That damn it!
That makes sense.
It wasn't until you walked in that we started having issues.
Oh, I'm going home.
Speaking of that, I was going to say, if we need to have a quick break for breathing exercises, restroom break, or the like, we can now take a break. Otherwise, keep going. We're on our way.
I'm fine.
Good.
Breathing exercises.
Steve, you good? Hey, he's got like 6 months to get this perfect. Like he's. I mean, what?
Huh?
What? Exactly. That's a good dad answer.
I don't know. Do you need to take a break?
Oh, we're stopping. We're stopping?
Are we good?
No,
Stop.
we're asking. Do you need to take a break? Alex is good. Steve.
Bathroom breaks, snack breaks, whatever.
I'm doing fine for now. Usually I just walk up in the middle of the session and
Yeah.
miss something important, like fish
I
coming attacking
have
us.
just received a message. I need to take a quick break.
Fair enough.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you in a moment.
Hello. Thank you for using your wonderful human ears to listen to the Bandage Brigade.
Hi, I'm Chris, otherwise known as Zephyr, in this version of our little D&D stuff. Honest to God, I didn't know what to do there. I'm still developing Zephyr. Grunk, I had such a strong, like, this is who he is. This is what he's about. Zephyr, I'm like, Zephyr's an asshole. Yeah, but besides that, that's besides the point. Thank you for listening to Bandage Brigade so far, as we are on a mini hiatus from the original series, even though this is also original, the primary series. Remember that everything that we have happened here does build on the world that our original heroes are in. So that gives me a little bit of anxiety, because I know Zephyr's not necessarily a good person, and Grunk is, like, the goody-goody two-shoes of, like, anybody ever known. But if you enjoy what we have to offer you, and you're like, you know what, I wonder what I could do, you could let other people you know in your life enjoy, know about this and enjoy it. I let myself stammer during these, and I don't cut it, because I'm lazy partially. But if you do enjoy it even more, and you really want to throw yourself out there and toss out them greens every little bit, there is donation available in the donation available. There's a URL you can click below, which allows you to go ahead and donate to the cause of the campaign, which allows us to go ahead and improve quality in terms of microphone and otherwise. So with that, I'm going to let you be. Thank you for watching, listening, using those ear holes, and do your best not to die out there. There's a lot of shit, and I can't save you from everything.
Welcome back. We just found out that one of our players is in love with mimics. Please write in and tell us what your favorite mimic is. Mine is the copper coin. The thing that nobody wants, but everybody's going to throw in that bag of holding, and it's just going to slowly eat your bag of holding alive. We found out Chris is his anal beads.
Whoa!
I mean, what? Holy shit. What just happened?
Well then.
Sorry, that was supposed to be off camera.
I wasn't ready for that one. That's a surprise to me, even.
Well, that's what the mimic thought. He's thinking, like, I'm going to be beautiful jewelry. Have you ever heard the stories of the 3 trees about Christmas and all that jazz?
I'm not sure if I want to.
Well, there's this beautiful story. It's actually a really sweet Christmas story, and I'm going to ruin it for everybody, so I apologize in advance. It's a story about how there's 3 trees, and they're just beautiful, and they want to reach up and point to heaven. The first tree gets chopped down by a lumberjack, because, screw lumberjacks, and he gets turned into a boat. Well, it turns out that this stupid-ass sailing boat turns out to be Jesus' boat as he's sailing across the raging seas, and he manages to calm the seas, channeling the power of God. The second tree gets chopped down and he gets turned into just some freaking hay stall for some dumbass animals. Well, it turns out he was a manger for the Christ Lord. Well, in the last one, he gets chopped down and he gets turned into a board. Well, god damn it, what the hell? I'm a board. At least they got to do something cool. Well, then he turns out to be the crucifix. So they were super excited. Well, this thing's like, I'm going to be this beautiful jewelry to be hung around some princess's neck, and nope, got a surprise. Sorry, I just totally screwed up a whole children's book. I apologize for anybody that I offended. Welcome to the channel.
Pretty much.
Hey, in my defense, that was and is still my favorite Christmas book. I freaking love that book. But I digress. You guys are in a room that has been apparently set up with a trap to throw cutlery in your general direction upon entry to the room. One of you, Zephyr, is looking at the small bookshelf that has some seemingly important books apparently on it. Nikoni, you have just entered the room and triggered off said trap, and poor Kaz, you're still on the stairs. But, as all stairs are, I mean, I don't know, there's stairs. There's no traps on the stairs. So you're doing great.
Good.
I'm gonna cue you guys in. Ready to go.
Pulling out that worn out book.
All right. I would like you to. This isn't so much a saving, just a dexterity check. Because again, this is a very fragile book. You can tell it's starting to fall apart.
10.
Yeah, as you pick it up, you feel like the slipcover of the book starting to undo the binding, and it's starting to fall out as you're picking it up. This is a very old tome. What languages do you speak again?
I speak Common and Primordial.
Yeah, you're not quite certain what the tome would be entitled, but it seems to be in a with primordial. I can use word too. With primordial, you do get a sense of you get a very guttural bass out of it to see like it's something that you feel should be close, but it'd be like Spanish to Portuguese type concept. It's like the words are there, but no. Hashtag I don't know other languages, so if that's not right, close enough for jazz.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair one. He is gonna fly over to the other two in that case and be like, "Can either of you read this one?"
Languages, sir.
Infernal, Halfling, Goblin.
Negative.
Common Elven.
Negative. Not quite. It seems a little bit more archaic than what you guys are accustomed to.
Well, shit. Are any of the other books over there like medical books by any chance?
They're in the same language, from what you can tell, and you're not quite able to ascertain what they read as.
I'm going to gently put the book that I have back.
Okay.
And fly over to the other bookshelf.
The one that's now on the floor? Or the decorative table?
Oh, we'll go to the decorative table first.
Zzz.
What's up with the story on this one?
The story from the first, I guess, make an investigation check, please.
15.
I'm going to put a pin in that, and I want to know what you guys are doing while he's doing this.
Probably examining the other books that he hasn't examined and see if we can read any of them. Maybe trying to figure out what kind of magic is on them.
Yeah, as far as you're able to tell, you are not able to understand the languages that they are read. As far as the magic involved, you are getting abjuration and a little bit of conjuration. I'm sorry, not conjuration, abjuration and evocation.
Okay.
I apologize.
If any of them are not falling apart, I might take those and stick them in my backpack.
Yep. So there are 5 that are not falling apart. The one that he had originally picked up it's like the pages themselves seem to be okay, but it seems to be just the book is starting to come apart from like the spine of it.
Makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to put 5 books in my backpack.
Yes. Just for note's sake, you can put just Dungeon 1 and then 5 Draconic books.
Okay.
But please don't metagame towards Draconic. But I digress. What are you doing, sir?
I'm gonna go and look down the hallway.
Over here. It is an open hallway that seems to peek into a smallish chamber. It's not even set up with a doorway so much as it's just a like an expanse quick to go into an adjoining room, and it seems to be ottomans. Not even like a bed, but it seems to be set up like a sleeping chamber. But it's these long drawn out couches that slope up enough to provide rest, like elaborate, comfy couches. Seem to be old. Has a very distinct musty smell. That mix of dust and wet that you were missing from that initial chamber. But yeah, it seems to have a little bit of that twist.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise you don't really see anything in there. Especially considering this room is lit, you see torches on the walls that are all lit, which is another aspect that you notice. Each of the 3 torches that are on the walls are all magical.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Sounds good.
from
thanks.
your perspective, things that are static that you would have noticed. Yeah, as far as in that room, you're not seeing really anything of note or import. You see there are two, like some of those longer couches. You see almost like a pile of just like sheets that are laid towards the side of one, just kind of crumpled up at the ball towards the end. On the opposite side, you see one that seems to have never been touched and has been set up almost with one of those. I'm gonna screw up the words, but the 4-poster bed where you have like the veils on them seems to have one of those setups around this couch. Seems to be very fancy. Seems to be very well made and maintained. But it looks like it has not been touched in years. Like the curtains have this like moth-eaten, like the streaks coming through them, but it's still maintained as best as possible. Something is amusing to this.
I'm sorry, anytime I think of these veiled beds, I just think somebody's fucking on that. So I'm just like, I don't know what prince decided to put this on the couch, but it's very clear why it hasn't been used in a long time.
I'm going to add in, just because of that commentary, there on the ceiling is not a mirror, but you see 4 holes where a mirror would have been screwed into.
Oh shit.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Flavor. Hashtag flavor. Put that on Craft's website.
I don't want to talk about flavor when it comes to people fucking.
Alright.
That's what you see here. And then on the far left wall, you do see a stairway going up. I believe it's up. It is up.
Should I go sideways?
You haven't gone on it
At a
yet.
65-degree angle.
It's a sideways escalator.
Yeah. One of those.
It can't be if you levitate sideways.
Yeah. So that brings me back to Zephyr.
Yeah.
You were at the decorative table.
Yes.
The closer you get, and the more you start to inspect, and you said you had gotten a 15, you see this elaborate construction of, almost looks like from the legs going up, this, it almost looks like a twisted stairway with people carrying treasure, people carrying, tied up on like the sticks, they're carrying bodies of tribute, they're carrying people and items and artifacts, they're carrying them up and elevating. You get to the base, that wraparound base as the legs would connect to the table, and you start to see these archways that they're marching through. They all seem to be marching through something. This long tunnel that ends in this stone arch, but there's no door to this arch. They're just marching to it, and then that seems to be it. Like they're either meeting a destination or they're coming to an immediate end at wherever this entryway is. But across the top, under what seems to be this flash frozen scene, is everything piled in 5 neat stacks behind groups of individuals deep in a ritual surrounded by a pit. That in front of this pit, you start to see this swirl of color: black, green, blue, white, red. But then you see off on the side one lone individual from the back side of this ritual, off standing alone. And you see this individual, tall, has this large kind of almost conish style cap coming off the back. Not really wearing much of a top, but a few almost decorative ornamentation for where the chest piece would go, or this ornament, like a neck piece. But then he's wearing these long flowing, almost like a kilt below, and you see him just standing there channeling into this mass amalgamation of energy. And this scene is flash frozen atop this decorative table.
Okay.
Yeah, hit the play button.
You're not wrong. Zephyr will just kind of just generally relay that to our little group. I'm not really sure what it. Then after relaying it, just kind of like, I'm not really sure what it means. Like, the closest I can think about it is this clearly has to do with the guilds of some sorts, but I don't think it's necessarily the founding of it, but I don't know, like, creation of. I don't understand it. I don't understand magic. This is not my shit to begin with. So,
Can I make a history check at all?
Please do.
Probably not. 9.
Yeah, as far you're thinking back and you're thinking of this, he's keying off. Maybe this is part of the guilds. Maybe this is. You're just not piecing it together, really. I mean, it might make sense. I mean, it's got each of the main kind of cores of magic that a lot of the guilds are predicated on. Maybe that would make sense. There's 5 groups that are channeling in there, but then there's this lone guy, and some of the pieces just aren't lining up to make sense of that. But it's also possible that that's the truth.
Makes sense.
When I look at the lone guy, do I feel reminded of Tatsuya?
Roll something. How are you looking to try to piece that together? Where are you getting that connection?
I mean, I'd probably say history because I want to say that it was like I was present for his speeches, so I saw his sort of grand figure like there.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you get?
9.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. It's like Tatsuya, I mean, he's powerful, but I mean, he took down a black dragon. That's awesome. He's also he's a dragonborn of black dragon descent. So I mean, the black dragon would have his corrosive breath. That's great. He's going to be resistant to that, but if it is truly him dealing with all of these different essences of magic, you don't know how would he deal with the fire, the cold, the electricity. How would he deal with some of these extra things? Yes, it's impressive he did it once, but maybe it's not making sense in this scenario. It's not making sense in this puzzle piece. Maybe you have a puzzle piece that goes somewhere else in the picture, but in that spot, maybe not.
Is the magic that the lone individual using of any pigment, any color at all, or is it just like this, like a silvery, a white, or not white, I guess at that point, but like is it different from the rest of the other 5 colors that are present?
I was distracted by a call for more tissues for the wife who is having really bad allergy issues. Give me half a second so I can deal with that.
Okay.
Figure it out amongst yourselves.
Okay.
And I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll just do this above game because my brain Zephyr's not going to be of much use.
Yeah.
He'll deliberate, but like, because clearly it goes from an offering to this situation. Like, and I didn't even fully realize immediately that it was a standoff necessarily.
Yeah. And the only reason why I was thinking Tatsuya is because
Yeah, if it's the guild and then it's a lone person.
Yeah.
Ancestor Tatsuya. Maybe another individual who tried to go alone, but the guilds went against them, or even before there were guilds, the original founders.
I'm trying to think of something from the other campaign.
Yeah, right. Just like
clicking.
because that's the hard part. It's just we don't have much that's going to click with this.
Ooh, the world that we're currently in with
World?
the Shattered Continents.
It could be because the center of it all is just that raw, like, magic in the center of it. Because it's that centerpiece that everything is coming out of is not part of those 5 auras or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Of course, this doesn't help us in game right now.
No, it doesn't, because we don't know that.
Alright, I just missed most of your conversation while I was retrieving toilet paper to fix a leaking nose. What are we at?
Above game, we're like, 5 colors, and when in other campaign we went to that world, We
well,
saw
not another campaign.
Well,
Literally covered as part
same
of the
campaign,
precast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
The Outcasts
Yeah, I guess.
went to the world of Alara, where the Maelstrom is a literally the magic that ties the worlds together, that before the world was broken apart into shards, known as the Shards of Alara, where the Shards of Alara are based or predicated around one individual kind of essence of magic, but then because of its proximity to the others around it, can draw in or benefit from those magics. So we'll use the example that of you guys are going to Naya as part of the Outcast. Naya is in essence green. It's that nature focused energy, but it also has white of some of the order and protection and growth and life. But it also has red, which is primal. It is fury and passion, all smashed in together. But it's never had a chance to be influenced by loss, by death. It doesn't have the logic in that order. So it's rapid growth and survival of the fittest.
Does it look like they're actually combating each other, these 5 individuals, against
These,
one guy? Or
these
is it...
five? It is 5 groups, like
Okay.
5 people in a ritual,
Okay.
channeling on 5 separate pedestals
Okay.
into this
One.
energy source. There is one individual that seems to be off on his own,
Okay.
that seems to be doing something with whatever this ritual
And
is.
they don't have any of the other 5 colors represented as him? Like his
None
magic
of
or
that.
anything?
Nobody has any color
Okay.
identification outside of channeling into this kind of swirled mass of color.
Okay. Okay. That's...
I don't know if that gives you more help or less help, but
It was literally trying to just boil it down to pretty much just that. Is this one person all that they needed to give just this raw level of magic to bind the 5 together in some fashion? And that was the only thing that I was pulling together at that point.
yeah. But based on that, it's a beautiful work of art.
Mhm.
If there's some meaning behind it, you're really not seeing it. But you guys are not world explorers and
No.
art connoisseurs. It's a beautiful piece of art. Maybe it means something to somebody long ago, but for right now, either put a pin in it or bring it home with you when you get there.
Yeah, Zephyr's just like, alright, I'll think about enough of this. Moving on. What else have we got?
There's a chest over there.
Yeah, that one was magic too. In the
You
corner.
all want to open that thing up and get hit by something? Feel free.
I'll be doing that while he does that.
Has it been 10 minutes yet? I assume so.
At this point,
probably.
we're getting about 10
Yeah, he
minutes here.
slowly floats his way down, touches the ground. Don't start anything,
Constitution
please.
said, no kidding.
What we got?
Mage hand. Open. Was that a chest, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
It's more of like a crate than
Okay.
anything, but yes, you can sense some conjuration magic coming from inside.
Okay.
And this time I am correct. I checked its conjuration.
Yay. Alright. Yeah, trying to pry it open or
Yeah,
however with my mage
it
hand.
takes a little bit of pressure, but you. And inside there's just a very small staff with on the head. It looks very similar to your staff, where it's more like a almost looks like a walking cane, but it has a head of a viper on it.
Go pick it up with mage hand.
Ooh.
You have in your possession. I hit the wrong button. Don't do that.
I
Go away.
know what this is, but Zephyr doesn't.
Loot. Yeah, you have attained the staff of the viper. Or I'm sorry, staff of the python. So if you or if another party member needs that, but party has obtained the staff of the python.
That seems like a cool walking cane.
Indeed. Again, you feel like it's probably it's like that just too large to be a walking cane, but it's just too short to be a full staff. It's that awkward like You ever seen in video games where it's just the art just doesn't make sense? But like, I don't know what I'm using, but I have it.
No.
It's one of those.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Honestly, it looks a lot like this. Like, is this
Yeah.
a staff? Is this a cane? Is this a wand? Like, what the hell is this? Put a
that-
viper head on there, and that looks. You got it. Got it.
It makes sense.
I hate those art styles. I also I hate the half capes. If it's gonna be a cape, give me a freaking
Yeah.
cape.
Oh my god, yes, please. God.
I hate the ones that are just over one shoulder. If that, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but the capes that are like here, and I'm like, it's just a dangly.
Close. No, I'm talking like it's a full cape over both shoulders, but it only goes halfway down your back.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking.
I'm like, what? No, that
Yeah,
is
'cause
not.
at least the shoulder one is usually for like regal shit. Like that's
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, that is a status symbol, not a functional symbol. The half cape, I'm like, but did you just run out of fabric? Like, where's the rest of it? Like getting half the enchantment for it? I don't know. I digress. You have a tipped over bookshelf with lots of kind of a couple spilled out books. There's still some cutlery that kind of got stuck in there and kind of launched before it fell all the way down.
Anybody want to lift this one up?
I'll help if anyone wants to, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Perfect.
Let's go, muscles.
This
Do it.
is, I suppose, for
24. No, 23. No, 22.
we'll get there eventually.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you're able to, you're not able to like fully lift it up and like bench it up to the standing position, but you're able to at least get it up enough to kind of twist it on the corner to knock it out of the way. And you guys see about 30 books kind of spilled out across the floor. Some of them are a little worse for wear. Some of them look like they're still in pretty okay condition. Most of them are in that same, well,
Unknown language.
draconic language that you guys aren't quite able to read. There's a few in Elven and a few in Sylvan, if you guys can read that.
I have Elven.
Nope. I've got none of that.
I'll at least read the title, I guess.
The titles are, it's not so much a title of book, but it's maps and waypoints throughout Viraldus.
Those seem interesting. I'll keep those.
So, yeah, it seems to be from different eras, different times, different lives, the way the worlds were shaped and how the lands were at that time.
Okay.
Just kind of doing that quick leafing through, you're able to pick out that.
Okay. Anything interesting in that, oh?
Just some maps. Useless to me for the most part, but maybe some collector would like it.
I'm also laughing as I'm thinking about this. I'm like, there's going to be a lot of map stuff, and in the last game, I fucked with Mike.
Yeah.
You remember Mike from work, and he was so easy to troll on some things that despite our enjoyment of the game, he always wanted a map, and every time I trolled him into oblivion with maps. Like the example, we went to Marilis' Saber's hometown. They didn't have maps, but they had like quad style, like the big pillars that had the "You are here."
Sure.
Those style maps. There was other ones where they. What was the one in the Feywild where it's just every time you tried to get a straight answer out of this guy, he had quid pro quos, and he had just this laundry list of things that you had to do to get maps, and then you had to return the map when you were done with it because he didn't sell you maps, he rented them out. Oh my god, it was too fun.
It was great. It was a fucking mess, but it was amazing.
I
He
apologize.
still wanted for stealing a map from a little kid.
Yeah. He bought a map from somebody who turned him in for stealing his map because she didn't understand the concept of currency because she was a kid. Turned him in to her father, who was a sheriff. Fun times. Anyways, this room is fairly well turned over,
Okay.
unless there's anything else specific you're looking for. Otherwise, you can basically just scoop the books and take them, or if you're leaving them based on not trusting anything I've said previously. Things you have currently left, you have left a tube. You have left gates, or some cages. You have left an entire library upstairs. You have an unexplored wing or two from the other direction you chose not to go in it when you first entered. And you have a pile of books. And this decorative table.
Go to give some of those books to Kaz over here. I'm sure that she'll enjoy them.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
It's just big.
And start walking to the other passageway.
Pile of books. Dungeon 1 pile of books. We will deal with that when you are capable of translating. Right, you guys enter the bed chamber. I'm going to pull off map because we're going off map at this time. Wrap. Not wrap. We're going to... You guys get into the bed chamber. Is there anything else you guys are doing with that, or based on initial description?
As I walk into this bed chamber, I'm looking for traps, like trip wires or anything, because walking as Zephyr is learning.
That was her.
My first thought was just to walk in, and before I get in the room, just sword burst.
Jesus Christ.
I have 10 feet. Yeah, I cast 10 feet in front of me.
Destroy all the beds. Just
Well, let's hold off on that one. Let's just hold on.
Put swords
So
away.
investigation check. If you're looking for traps, you gotta do it then.
That's a 2.
You see at least 5.
Sword burst!
2 of them will kill you immediately.
do it now.
Everyone stay back from the entrance. Sword burst now.
I don't need a quipper in here. Why do I have
Okay.
a
There's
quipper?
a ton of traps. 2 of them will kill us.
Okay, sword burst.
Yeah, just. Yeah, you sword bursted the hell out of this room. But
The beds are
set traps off.
Doesn't even
You
look
kind
like
of see the
what is-
curtains that were starting to be moth-eaten are now sword-eaten.
So what happens when you sword burst? Because
Why don't you give everybody a description of your sword burst, since this is a class focus. Do you know what sword burst is to start?
A little bit.
Do you want me to pull
sword
it up
burst.
here? There you go.
Create a momentary circle of spectral blades that swoop around you. All other creatures within 5 feet of you must succeed on a dex save. But I have a special class feature that allows me to have a 10 feet range.
Kind of expands out the capability of his swords as they shimmer with that kind of celestial void light.
Yeah. So I don't know if I was still shrouded in sort of cosmic darkness when you came down the stairs.
You were exiting it as,
yeah, I was gonna say, I
as you
watched-
came down.
Okay.
I came down, saw you in the slime or cube, and then you dissipated.
Okay. So basically, when I create the sword burst, you see literally the endless space expand around me. It's literally just blades of space go around and cut everything up around.
Oh shit. Didn't know you could do that.
It happens.
Perfect. Are you gonna kill things with it?
I've never tried.
We'll find out in that case.
Okay, I'll test it. I'd like to look directly at you.
Don't look at me. Don't you dare try it on me.
You wanted to test it.
I will make your body rot from the inside out. Don't you ever fucking look at me like that ever again.
We are supposed to be a team.
I take thing and put a blindfold around my eyes. I'm not blinded.
I said don't look at me like that ever again.
Not looking at you.
You can look at me.
I'm not looking at anything.
Either
wanna
way,
take the
there are the 3 beds. One that has been now shredded from the veiled curtains that they had around them, and then there's a final stairway leading up.
Detect magic, I guess.
Each bed has a little bit of enchantment magic on it.
Huh. It's either good or bad. Good sleep or trapped you in a permanent slumber. Who knows?
You know what? I would just check it. Just may as well try it. See what happens.
Oh god.
Yeah, let's go for a nap.
I would suggest only 2 or 1 of us sleep at a time, and I guess
I'm
that's...
not going on those beds. Are you crazy?
Are they? They're probably disgusting, though, right? Since they're old.
No.
Oh. Okay.
They are the two again are well kept. Look like they have been well used. Again, one of them has the sheets look like they've been kind of flipped off, and like somebody woke with a start, kicked the sheets off, and vacated their rest. And then the last one, the one that had the curtains, that was the one that was in pristine condition until Swordburst happened, and now you see it slowly stitching itself back together.
Oh.
Okay, upstairs.
How are either of you looking, actually?
Yeah, upstairs.
I'm a little tired, peakish under the eyes, got bags.
Like, health-wise, obviously without giving a number, but, like, you guys looking worse for wear, or are you guys still
I mean,
fine?
out of 20, I'm probably at like 19.
I'm at about half.
We're good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I can heal myself probably nearly full.
Would you like to heal yourself now? Because we know there's something else here.
I will do that. 5 and 1. Okay, so that's... I'll do the last one. 2. So that's 8. Close to full.
Okay.
But I'm also out of healing now.
I am going to take that potion that I had found earlier.
So the second of the healing.
Yes.
All right. Those are out of healing potions.
So it's 2d4, correct?
Yes, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay. That is 7. Just go ahead and throw that down. Gonna raise the mask ever so slightly while facing away from everyone else. Drink it and back down.
Okay, that's feeling a hell of a lot better. If need be, I can always do a little bit of healing myself, but it won't be the strongest. It'll just be a little bit of assistance here or there. Honestly, it's a hell of a lot better if I just go ahead and try to beat the shit out of the enemy.
That's not work. My next turn's too long. Yeah.
Could you do it sideways so, like, the whole room is 2 pages?
Well, you know, why don't you use logic on me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I could do that. That is a thing that I could do, but that means I have to draw.
I don't want to draw. I needed an excuse not to.
Well, I mean,
I use the other potion.
I'm just gonna do some fast draw because that's
fine.
what I need to do.
And then I did say I do have ways
One,
to heal
2, 3,
people.
4.
It's not the most effective, but it's something. They're fast heals more than anything.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't heal until much later in my class.
1, 2, 3.
Tiny dice, tiny dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So
6, 7, 8.
I love
1, 2, 3, 4,
Higher ones?
Sure, why not?
5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
I think I got a fair kid. 11.
yeah.
Gotcha. Damn. Max roll, min roll, baby. Robert is currently drawing us a map, a pretty little picture.
Well, I'm using my semi-trained, quasi-professional skills to draw here. And what's really screwing with me is I'm still colorblind, and I'm using brown on green, and I am just crushing it.
And I hate to tell you this, but that's also brown.
You can go burn yourself in hell.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be the one to say it, bud. I'm sorry. Like, I get where you see the green. I understand.
Shut
but
up.
holy shit, that's still brown.
I had to guess, and I whiffed.
It's nature colors, boy.
Well, this is why when nature burns to the ground and I'm the last one standing, suck it.
Camel works on colorblind people?
I, for years, had a shirt that said fuck the colorblind, and it was my favorite shirt, and people got pissed because I wore it. I digress. You guys step into, as you walk up the stairs, you see, I'm placing a map in front of them. It is 14 squares long, 14 times 5 is math. As you walk up the stairs, you see this large table, this large greeting table that extends down To the right-hand side against the far wall, you see this absolute elaborate wall.
Yeah.
Math.
I did say 70.
I didn't even try. I just said numbers and went from there.
Yeah.
I was okay moving on. You guys were the ones that had to drag it out.
I said it immediately.
Make it feel all bad. Anyways, there is this large, overly elaborate throne carved straight into the rock behind, or to the right. It looks like the literal cavern here was pushed back from where it was naturally formed and carved back the extra 5 feet just to get this throne to sit. This cavern, when you guys stepped in, was this kind of natural growth into a hillside. And a lot of that first floor, when you guys came in, had that very natural feel, just kind of carved out to make it feel more like home. Here now, you're seeing across, going down the diagonal to the back, you're seeing these large stone pillars posted up. And tagged to each of them are these sconces that are hung about 7 feet off. It sticks out about a foot, 7 feet off the floor, to illuminate the area enough to see that this place is both incredible from a design. It's a simplistic design, but it was very well carved out. Clearly, rock had to have been brought in to even make this, because this is not natural to the setting. But beyond that first kind of initial kind of wall, the cave had to have ended and they had to carve straight into the rock. The next piece you notice is across the entirety of the floor. It looks like hundreds, if not thousands, of shattered shells across the entirety of the floor, up on top of the table. Spilling out from every nook and cranny of this room are these shells. I need you all to make a perception check, please.
Oh.
15.
It's a good thing I'm proficient with that. I'm +3, so I have 4.
I felt that coming a long
Four,
ways.
and I'm sorry,
15.
2. Alright. Zephyr,
Yes.
the one thing that you notice is as you guys enter, because especially being the first one into this room, and you can hear that first kind of that first snapping of the shells as you step in, because again this floor is just coated in it. You see somebody darting down the hall.
Whoa, hold on!
It's this old kind of. It seems to be about 2.5 feet tall. This very short individual, this ragged, just manic white hair, and he seems to be carrying something, just something very close. Not quite like a football, but almost like. Think of like if you were trying to run with a child, where you're carrying it, but it's in that protective stasis, and he books it, jumps off the table, and just hoofs it down this floor.
Jesus.
Initiative, please.
Yo! 22.
15.
I've never had good initiative.
You had a 5.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking my initiative rolls.
Can I have the Cosmic Blade sheets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I should probably get that to you since you need that to play your class.
Yeah. Here, since we're both do combat stuff, might need references.
Just a little bit.
For those who are just joining us, we have somebody playing the homebrew class, the Cosmic Blade, and he has not taken the opportunity to memorize every feature of a brand new homebrew class.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Well, I wasn't going to say stupid, I'm just disappointed in you.
Yeah, same.
I digress. First thing that's going to happen, you see him dart, this figure dart off the table. The next thing that happens in this initial surprise round of you entering this space, you said your perception was a 15?
Yes.
That is the number I like to hear.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel good.
Just calm yourself, Iago. You're fine. Does a 16 hit you?
It does.
Good. That helps.
I don't agree with this statement.
You take 6 damage as a drake
Oh,
dives out
fucking
of
hell.
the bottom from underneath this table, kind of from behind one of the legs, and dives out and just snaps.
No, back!
With your
Oh!
knee. The second one, you see, looks like a second one was around the other side, kind of hiding behind one of the pillars to try to dive in towards you, but you kind of saw this guy coming as he's starting to charge in. We are now in initiative order, and I'm going to encourage
Not okay.
Zephyr, it is your turn. You have 2 drakes immediately around you. You have a table that is kind of blocking your way if you wanted to try to get on top. It's a standard seating table, but then you have a figure that is running for it.
Free action.
Can you guys handle the drakes?
Sure.
Sure, no problem.
Perfect. I'm going to use a key point to disengage, or to step with the wind. Sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and start booking it at a speed of 40.
Sorry, I was finishing my initiative tracker. You're catching a speed of 40,
Yep.
and
I'm gonna run.
there's a table, so 5.
If it helps at all, my jumping distance is multiplied by 2.
So athletics. You're
Yeah,
gonna need athletics to either go on the table, or you're gonna need to acrobatics to get across.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can acrobatics, just like slam my palm down and spin around
acrobatics.
the
See
table.
if you can make this work.
That is going to be a 24.
So 5, 10,
Table
15,
jumps on your
20,
way.
25. And you have a speed of 40.
Yeah. And at
30.
least what is he just running? Do I see them now or?
So you see down this hall, you see this figure booking it again, and there is just this shell-laden corridor, but these shells are much, much larger. Where we were talking like broken individual, like hand-sized pieces, you're now looking at pieces that go up to your knee, to your hip. Much larger shells in different patterns. Some of them are that same kind of milky white with the orange specks. Some are these blood red with swerves of just streaking black through it. Some of them are bright green that just have an iridescent glow of blue kind of streaked throughout it.
Okay.
But all of them are open or cracked in some form, and he is ducking and dodging through it, but he is down the hall a little ways.
Okay. If he is running through there and it's all that, I'm not going to run through it. Instead, I'm going to stay kind of towards the entrance of it. Turn around at the
You will be getting 2 opportunity attacks from leaving threatened squares.
bonus action step of the wind, disengage.
I missed that part, I apologize.
Doing
Doing great.
Did that acrobatics take my action?
Yes.
Okay.
To get around all of that, you are
Yes.
moving through threatened squares.
And how far did I move?
25 feet, I think I said.
Then
5,
I'll
10,
move
15,
another
25.
15 back.
5, 10.
No. I mean, like, back away from the full drakes. I
5,
apologize.
10, 15.
Alright. And that'll be my turn then.
The monk who has to be in melee, has run away from the fight.
No, I don't have to be.
Alright, you see this manic figure. You don't see anything because nobody can see him. So, we'll deal with that in a moment. That brings us to Drake number this guy. Boom. What's their speed? 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Just
and
barely.
snap. 11 plus 4. Does a 15 hit you?
It meets or beats.
Beats it beats. 1d6 plus 1. 5 damage as it snaps with a bite. Just as a point of reference for y'all, we're looking at these guys. Just little drakes. Not big at all, but think Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon is not something you really want to...
Put the dogs down!
Oh, I clicked a button. Stupid buttons.
No.
Hate buttons. All right. That brings us all the way around to Nikoni. You're up. You see the drake starting to chase after a delicious meal. You did not see this figure dart. So as far as you are aware, it's these drakes, and you kind of see the crunching of the shells.
Alright. I'm going to move here
Okay.
and Eldritch Blast this one.
All right. Roll it.
Oh, that's a miss.
Maybe. What'd you get?
4 plus, I think it's 5.
So it's going to be your proficiency plus this guy.
Gotcha. So it is 5. So 9.
9, yes. 9 will miss, unfortunately. So you take a shot and it kind of careens into that corner wall as you're throwing a blast out there. Did you have a bonus action or anything you wanted to use?
Depends if
Any
this-
more healing or any more...
Nope, this other spell is a action, so...
Alright, sounds like a plan. We'll wait for the next action to see if you're going to pull that off.
Yeah.
15 down to Kaz. It is your turn. Again, as far as you are aware, there are 2 drakes. One has chased your cohort, Zephyr, down into the room. You saw your additional cohort throw an Eldritch Blast or beam of energy that has careened into the wall. He has handed me a figurine for a cosmic blade. He handed me an archer figure.
Yep, because I forgot what I was playing.
This is why we keep Steve around.
Yes. Just yes.
There we go.
Um.
Can't be any worse than when his human fighter forgot to buy gear.
Yes.
God.
I will do my second use and final, sadly, use of Form of the Cosmos, where I will burst into a 10-foot radiation of darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm now I have a shot of darkness within 10 feet of me.
Nikoni.
Immediately realized.
Kaz steps up the precipice of the stairs, and you just see almost this sinking in. Like the energy seems to like draw itself into him, and this explosion of darkness. You are now surrounded by darkness.
Yeah.
How far it goes, how deep it is, you're uncertain, but you have seen your ally do this once before. You know it's a limited range, but as of right now, you've been washed out in darkness.
It's so dark.
I'll move to like the inner corner of the table there.
5, 10? Or which-
one more in.
This way.
Yeah. So and I believe that would.
You are now out of it.
Yeah.
And you see your darkness on the far side of you. You can no longer see through to Zephyr, but you can see the other Drake that is standing by the pillar.
Okay.
And then I take my sword and I point it at the Drake in front of us, and I cast a ranged spell. Yes, that one.
All right. No, I'm just more for just
Oh.
yes.
Yes.
Doing great. All right.
With a 17. Wait.
That hits.
Yes, 17.
17 will hit.
Yes. Yay.
Roll your damage.
15.
Jeez. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a chunk.
Oh, plus intelligence.
Get that mileage out
Plus
of that.
intelligence?
No.
Yeah, so 3 more.
Yeah, you let out this blast that just takes. You see the scales down the back start to rip off, just to expose this large length of flesh down the side, and just kind of squeals back in pain and starts almost like retreat back behind a pillar.
I wasn't sure if that was real for a second there or not. Like, part of it felt real. Not all of
The
it.
cough was real. The dramatics was me.
Okay. It was like, part of that was real.
But it starts to kind of reel back in just pain as you take a mass chunk out of this thing. For those at home wondering about the mechanics, his form of the cosmos can grant a shroud of darkness or light, depending on alignment, and shoot a beam. And that, while it might seem heavy-handed earlier, it is a heavy-handed early mechanic that doesn't really scale with long-term levels. So this trick, while potent at this time, is designed to carry those that are more caster-focused and will be more of a spammable low-term cantrip long-term. So it's find a way to make use of it, because the form itself will have other benefits, but the blasting damage will be more of a secondary effect long-term.
It's a great time to let the people at home know we're not necessarily the heroes in this situation.
What?
We're not necessarily the heroes.
Tomato, tomato.
Why not? You're not a hero?
Well, the whole darkness emitting coming from me instead of light.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to reference a podcast that I'm not going to call out on air because I'm not going to give credit where I'm not being paid to give credit to, but there's one where they have a blatantly, horrifically evil individual amidst a sheriff and other lawful paladin-esque characters, and that person is absolutely not only saving the world, is absolutely irreplaceable, as they cannot survive long enough without him.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Evil has its place in good deeds. But if you guys choose to be non-heroes, we'll figure that out as we explore the rest of this campaign. I digress. Brings us to Zephyr. No. I lied. This guy, who is going to... He cannot see where that blast came from, so he's going to go do a quick... You don't know. I lied. He retreats. And he disappears. And he's going to... Got it. Alright. That Drake disappears behind one of the pillars. Now it is Zephyr's turn.
Did I don't remember her name. Nakoni? Did she go?
I literally have them all here. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even remember. Wow.
Shot Eldritch Blast, moved up out of the way, and shot Eldritch Blast happened to miss.
Okay, there we go. Shit's about to get
Unfortunately,
wacky.
casters miss. It's like the one thing that they're like, ah.
It's like a pew. Okay, my turn's over.
Zephyr's going to just spin the top of his staff, releasing the short sword, and he takes aim almost before swinging out at this Drake that's in front of him. And I'm going to add as long as it hits, I'm going to use the key point to add Hand of Harm to my main attack. That is just a free action pretty much. That is a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
This bitch is gonna take almost max damage. We're looking
3.
at no, we're looking at 9 points of slashing.
You guys are gonna kill my guys.
And
Stop killing my guys.
5 necrotic.
And 5 necrotic?
We're not done yet though, because I'm gonna use another key point, my last one, to flurry of blows. And
Fine. The guy's not dead, but it's...
And I do believe
You're killing my creatures.
that since I'm using
You're also challenge rating half.
my flurry of blows, it won't mean anything in the end. As he just whips basically the sheath, like this thing just starts whacking it. And we're gonna do. It's gonna count as unarmed, of course, but that's a 13 if that hits.
That does hit.
Cool. We're gonna replace one of those with necrotic, which it's just gonna be necrotic instead of normal. That's gonna be 3 necrotic.
Okay.
And that's not gonna hit. That is a 7.
No. My little Drake lives to exist another day.
As he first stabs it and then whacks it, it's just a matter of putting it in the right places to kind of cut off blood flow for that necrotic damage as the body starts just letting go of those areas. And that is... yeah, that's all I can do.
All right. That brings us around to... all right. His turn. Nikoni... I'm sorry. Drake 1. He's going to go ahead and try to bite you again because he just blasted it. Does a 16 hit you?
16 does hit.
D6 plus 1. 7 damage.
Woof.
As this takes a chunk out of you. How you feeling?
Not great.
On a scale of 1 to, like, however many hit points you have.
5.
Awesome! Especially knowing what's going to happen next. That makes me happy. You're doing great. So yeah, you see him just take a chunk out of you guys, and you can't see because you guys are behind the darkness, but you can see that Zephyr is in rough shape with this Drake. He is trying to take this thing mano a mano, and it's not going well. Like, he took a solid chunk out of this thing, but they're both on last leg. And that's going to bring us... Nikoni, it is your turn. You did see a Drake kind of duck behind the pillar.
Alright. Gonna condense the water around me to Armor of Agathis into just armor. And then I'm gonna go this side of the pillar
Okay.
and look. See if I can see anything.
Perception check.
15.
Yeah, so you do see down, kind of trying to cower, trying to get out of the way. You see this Drake that was significantly hurt by your good friend,
Okay.
but it's there. So you got armor, bonus action to take a look, and you moved over. So you have this thing in your sights.
Okay.
That brings us Nikoni to Kaz.
Okay. I look at the one over by Zephyr over here,
Okay.
and I put my sword at it, and I attack it. It's a ranged
Roll.
spell attack. With 23.
That will, believe it or not, that's gonna hit.
Okay. Aww.
For these, we are looking for 13. 13 is what we're looking for.
Total of 9 necrotic
I have to
damage.
roll.
Shoot, where's my numbers? I need these.
I don't know, man.
What was it?
9 necrotic.
9. Yes, so you blast and you see in front of you coming from the darkness just that kind of cold reach, kind of reaching in, just almost like crushing it, just snuffing out the Drake in front of you.
Ugh.
I tip over the D6.
That
The
bitch.
D4, but it's like, ah.
That bitch dead.
It is dead. Thank you for noticing.
Well, thanks. It's part of my job.
There is, to your knowledge, though you have not identified this to anybody else, there was a figure that had run,
Yep.
but there is an additional Drake in here that you have identified and spotted. And that brings it to... Are you moving anywhere? I'm sorry. I should...
Last time we discussed that I sort of make the shadow corporeal, or like I could make it so that they could see me for a bit, sort of thing, but still keep the shadow up. Or no.
Repeat that. Describe how you're thinking this again.
Basically, like I can still keep the shadow effect active for the
Yes.
10-minute period, but I could like, oh hey, how you doing? I'm right here in front of you. Like I could show myself to them, sort of like split it or no. Okay.
Not in the current format, but if you want to submit that as feedback, we can address that as part of this playtest of this class.
Okay. When I walk up to you, I forgot your name already, even though I just said it.
Zephyr.
Zephyr. I walk up to Zephyr, which I think I have enough.
Whoa, can't see.
Hi, how are
Hang
you?
on, a couple things are
Fantastic,
gonna
except for
happen.
the part that I can't see.
Okay, I reach into my pack and I grab your hand and I hand you something.
Take it, I suppose.
Yeah, you can drink this. It'll make you feel better.
Okay.
And that's it.
Couple things are happening.
Okay.
First thing, I have to scroll. One moment. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Well, that's a double 13 plus that. Does a 20 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. I have to math. One of these. One of these. One of these. I need a d6 for something, please.
Bam.
I forgot about all those. I will deal with those. I hate this dice. Get rid of it. I'll borrow one.
You don't
of
like my heavy dice?
I don't like the. I can't see the colors.
You can't
so.
see the colors. Dylan was the same way. Yeah, I'm happy I wasn't standing there anymore, but this is rough.
You take 20 damage
Holy
as
shit.
a scimitar comes swiping across. As you come across, there is now a figure, this manic-haired individual that has no longer carrying these, has two scimitars flanked that are just absolutely ignited in this kind of blazing white energy. You just see him just dripping, like the sleeves of his arms are just caked in blood, and he's just...
I'm fine.
You see the rest of his body just covered in these spores. I also need you to go ahead and take
You motherfucker.
3
Um,
poison damage.
You use my reaction shield on that first attack.
So the first attack...
Yeah.
So there's the one that
Or-
missed,
right.
then there's the one that hit you
Oh, yeah.
for a 20.
Yeah, that one.
So I rolled a 20, you're using a shield on that.
Yes.
Okay, you have the spell shield,
Yes.
and you're using that as a reaction to not take this massive amount of damage.
Yes. I'm like, oh wait, I have a reaction. I have a shield.
What is your armor class?
17 plus 5.
22. That'll do it. Then this
Holy
shot
shit.
does not come through, and you see this guy just it almost looks like his eyes are just massive behind these huge monocles that are almost like bolted into the side of his head, and he's just
No! You cannot have it. This is mine. Tell him to go away!
and you see him run up and jump up on top of the table and just stand there just yelling, just it almost in a very guarding defensive stance. And yes, I'm aware you know the build.
Yeah. We talked about this months ago.
It's alright. Deal with it.
Right?
I digress. That brings us around. That was his waiting for somebody to pass through there. That was so you went there. Drake goes here. Drake's gonna try to snap at
We'll be
you.
fine.
Does a 6 hit you, Nikoni? You sure? Can it? Can it anyways?
If it wants to take 10 frost damage. No, just kidding.
I mean,
I would prefer it does not.
that's fair. All right. Yeah. So no, the Drake kind of steps out and tries to, in a very scared defensive stance, tries to snap at you quick. That brings us around to Zephyr. It is your turn. You cannot see that figure.
Back up the
You-
dump truck.
You just hear a slash, almost like a crash off the metal, kind of that energy, zzz, and then you hear something climb up on that table, and you hear that yelling.
I'm gonna back up 10 feet and then move to the left so that way I'm
5'10".
and
15?
assuming I can see this person now.
No.
Nope.
He's got a 10-foot aura of darkness around him. He's in melee range.
Okay. I'm gonna look down to this thing I was giving him a drink and bonus action drink. I don't know what it is for if I administer a drink to myself.
Yes, it's bonus action if you're doing it to yourself.
What did you give me?
Health potion.
Standard 1d4.
I don't know. It was
I thought standards
two,
were
2d4 plus 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Far enough will not complain in the slightest if I can remember where.
Should I make sure I take that?
This
from
guy
my
has done
inventory?
more damage to
6.
himself than you guys have dealt. I theory crafted a build with, and by with Chris, I mean I told Chris about a build that I theory crafted, and he just realized that the build that I'm.
Like immediately, just on base, like you barely described it, and I immediately caught on.
I didn't
was
even
like,
hit with both attacks.
yeah.
This is not a good day if he gets close to people. Good luck. But if you win, this is going to be great. You'll have lots of things. By that I mean you'll have stuff.
At this point, it's going to just be.
Can't you heal yet?
I could. I used my healing on fucking up the Drake instead.
All right.
Yeah, it was a mix. It's a one or the other situation. So in this case, he is going to. Oh, I did heal. Yes, I got like 6 for
No,
myself.
I thought you had healing hands or whatever.
Oh, it's either I use my hand of harm or my hand of healing. And my hand of harm is when I used to do all that necrotic damage.
That's fair.
Open up the blood circulation or close it is what I'm flavored.
So you know what I'm going to do now? For all those at home who are listening to this and know that there is a boss that has decided to protect his assets here within the dungeon to disallow Tatsuya from accessing the information he'd like, we're going to go ahead and call tonight's session with the introduction of the second half of tonight's combat. We'll pick that up in next session. Thank you, everyone.